Boom! What is up, everybody? We're back. You guys ready to twip it tonight?
Let's twip.
Pop, let's twip it. Jen, you ready to twip it?
Yep.
We're twipping, bros. What's up?
I saw Jeff's head cut off.
Yeah,
Did you see his
good.
head cut off? Isn't that great? I was like, look, he looks like he's part of the game, everyone. No,
That's
I'm sorry, Jeff.
sign of a good game.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, because the game blew your mind.
That's right.
Oh,
You saved
well,
it.
man, we got another exciting week for everyone. The week in pop, we got some great stuff coming up. It's the night of the Mitches. We've got two great Mitches on. We got Mitch Halleck, the producer of one of the Northeast's best comic conventions, Terrific Con, and then we have Mitch Brightweisser on, who also known with his wife Betty as being quite the rock stars in the mainstream comic book industry, but have also kicked it with their own publishing company with Allegiance Comics and Collectibles, which are solely sold at Walmart. So a little bit of a controversial guy in the past, but I think things are turning around for him. So it'll be fun to chat with him and check out his new book, The Saints. But speaking of some awesome people, I'm here with my best friends, and we're doing a show. What's going on, Jen and Jeff? How was your week, Jen?
It was good.
Classic.
I know, right? No matter what you do.
It was
great.
good.
I hope everyone's enjoying that. We're doing a meditation session, so if you hear a light raindrop trickling, that would be from Jen in her steel bunker.
Accurate description.
I can't deny it. I have nothing to say. It's all true.
It's all true. It's all true. So, I mean, but come on, you had to have an exciting week. We had so much stuff to research and watch. I mean, there's got to be something, Jen. There has to be something you did.
Oh, I rode my bicycle for 15 miles.
What?
Wow.
I know.
Good for you.
I know.
What kind of bicycle do you have?
No, it's like a regular one.
Does yours have two wheels?
Yeah.
Mine too. Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Jeff, you down with two wheels?
Two-wheeled bikes. I'm all about it.
Yeah, buddy. So, Jeff, how was your week, man? The
My week
claim
was great.
master here.
Very, very good week. A lot of good times. A lot of video game playing with friends and whatnot. Can't complain.
Okay, what games are you guys playing this week?
Playing a lot of Knockout City.
Yeah?
Yeah, you heard about that one? I think I might have mentioned it.
Yeah,
It's,
you mentioned it to me, but I got to check it out myself. It sounded titillating.
Yeah, I mean it's computerized
word.
dodgeball.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
so when I was a kid and I was the fat kid that no one wanted on their dodgeball team, now it doesn't matter because I'm playing at the computer.
You would be on my team, Jeff.
Darn right.
You would be on my team. Forever on my team. Anyways, is this something that could be played though? Like, could we play this on the show?
I mean, yeah, potentially. You would have to download the game.
I want to play virtual dodgeball on the show. And I think
would totally be
I
down
feel
for that.
like I want to do that, and we'll get a celebrity to play with us. And I feel like I would see the real Jen. Like, I feel like this demon would come out and be like, "You fucking losers! Got you now, bitch! Sunk my battleship, what?" Like, I feel like it would just be crazy.
You should see me play Counter-Strike. That's pretty much exactly
the
how
real
it
deal.
goes. Yeah.
Nice.
Having
We're gonna
watched
do it.
Jennifer play games in the past, a lot of times it's just a lot of screaming, no, 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 no! And damn it!
Yep.
Well, that's the other end. That's the other end. So we had some great stuff come up this week. I think
Wait.
you didn't even let me get to it.
Don't you want to know what's in my sack?
Oh my God, I would love to know what's in your sack.
Cool. I don't know what it is. All right.
Do what's
The
in
way
your
you
sack.
say,
Do let's see what's in her sack. Do that's a big old sack. Everyone, let's get in her sack.
so I was going to say, the way you say, I don't know what's in it every week makes it sound like you totally know what's in it.
I know, right? It's like this is totally set up. This is totally set up. I just know everyone out there's watching. She's like, I want to know what's in the sack. Come on, get to it.
I really don't know what it is. Well, I'm pretty sure it's... Well,
What is that sack
What's
made out of? It looks
A
like
freaking parachute. Look at the size
yeah.
of this thing.
What is that? What was in that sack originally? Did you get
It's
like
when
a
you-
puppy in that?
Amazon, you can choose to gift wrap something, and they just give you... It's just a sack.
Yeah,
And
like-
so I
I, just,
have like...
Is it cloth?
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
But I assumed there was like an upper limit
I
for
love
how
how
big
Jeff
the
knows
item could
so
be.
much. He's like, yeah, it is cloth. I sat in it
use this all the
yesterday.
time. I use these all the time.
Yeah.
Whenever I order a gift for a friend, I always get the gift wrapping, and it always comes in a big old sack.
And
But I just assume
them.
I assume that there has to be like an upper limit for how big the item can be. Do they just keep making bigger sacks? Like, what if I order a refrigerator from Amazon?
I had a sack. I
Comes in a big sack.
Like I literally climbed into the whole sack, but then I broke it. So, all right.
Okay, let's see what we got in this sack. Oh, it looks like. Oh, it's a robin. I love birds.
It's a cape too.
No, it's a cape with a robin on it. Maybe it's like wings.
What is it?
Okay, is that bubbles? Is that bubble paper? No.
No, just regular
wax
paper.
Oh, it's probably a taxidermy.
Oh, wow.
What the fuck? Whoa!
Nice.
Was
Look at that.
What is that?
It's a shoe.
This is
Now-
the tallest shoes I've ever seen.
What?
Is it one shoe per box? Because if you pull another shoe out of that box, my mind's gonna be freaking blown. Because it did not look. She's gonna do it.
Oh, this one's in a sack. This one.
Oh, you got a sack and a sack. Look at that. Wow.
It's for my
Try 'em on.
Jigglypuff costume.
I was gonna say, these shoes are gonna add like
Jigglypuff?
6 inches to Jennifer's height.
My
Nice.
other one's broke, so I had to get new ones, and it matches my dress because it's all holographic and stuff.
Mhm.
So, yay!
Nice. How heavy are those?
They're really light.
They're really light.
Yeah, super light.
Oh wow, that's cool. Jeff, next show, can we please have a video of you walking in those?
I can't imagine that we have the
In-
same size feet.
In the Jigglypuff costume.
Oh, I could probably pull off a good Jigglypuff.
Ratings winner. Nah, Jen's boot. TJ James, you dirty dog. So that was it. That's what we got in the sack.
That was
Nice.
my sack.
That was your sack. So how long did that sit unopened?
I don't know. I have a whole stack of stuff, and I just pick one. They've all been sitting there.
But like,
When I
what
get
if
it.
How long? Like, how many episodes do you think we're gonna get through before you get to the final package?
Let's see.
Oh, and your sack.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 more weeks at least.
10 more weeks. Okay.
And
So
I'm definitely gonna get more stuff.
You
before-
gotta
I heard
order
it here,
more
guys.
stuff.
We've got at least 10 more weeks of shows.
we got 10 more weeks of Jen's sack. We're gonna see what she pulls out of that shiny sack. So, yeah, nice, excellent. I'm so excited for next week's. All right. So now
Now you can do the show.
we can do the show, which I was gonna do the show, but you interrupted me when I was gonna turn it back to you about good things. Just saying. And scene. Cruella.
Oh, we're starting with that one?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's first. That is first on the agenda.
Oh man.
Cruella, right? I mean, we all know 101 Dalmatians, right? And that's where we were introduced to Cruella. And then they did the live action one. So it's still the same thing as 101 Dalmatians. But then they did this thing, right? Like Cruella's origin story, which I found to be interesting. Let me put it that way. I found it to be interesting. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I dislike it. Spoiler to anyone out there who is planning to watch it that hasn't watched it. There may be some spoilers in this conversation. But yes, we watched Cruella, which came out last Friday. And I have to start off with a few things, right? We do understand where her hatred of Dalmatians comes from, right?
Yeah, they made it very clear why she's going to hate Dalmatians.
They made that very clear. I also liked how they kind of had her hide her identity in certain things and kind of showed, how she got to become Cruella, right? I thought some of that journey was pretty good, but I thought it was a little bit quick, right? Kind of jumping through. But there's a comparison I want to touch on. I'm going to flash this image because we're going to talk about this after we talk about the movie a little bit, but just to give you guys a little preview of the conversation is there is kind of been a comparison of the Cruella film and the Joker film. And we've all seen Joker, and now we've all seen Cruella. So I'd love to touch base on that at the end. But so let's start. I want to start with you, Jen. I want to get your thoughts.
Go to
on
Jeff
Cruella.
first. I have a lot to say. So go to Jeff first.
Do you have notes?
I have, look at this shit. I got a 2-note card front and back and a whole page.
Oh, wow. Okay. Jeff. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie overall. I did think it was an interesting choice to make. Like, making an origin story about a villain is not a new thing for Disney, but like at the end of this movie, we know what Cruella's going to do in the future. And so the whole movie, I'm just wondering, are you really trying to make me root for this person? Because there's no way that I'm ever going to root for the lady who wants to skin puppies. Like I just can't do that. Am I the only one who felt that way?
No, I agree. Because I started to really like her. And I'm like, no, she doesn't like Dalmatians.
Every time I started to be like, oh,
but she has a dog.
Every time I was like,
they have dogs though.
She's going to do something really cool here. And then I'm like, oh, that's right. But then she's going to skin puppies.
Yeah.
So I just felt like, ultimately fine movie, but not really necessary. I didn't need Cruella's origin.
Yeah. I got you. I enjoyed it though. I did. I thought it was kind of cool seeing how that came through. And TJ James says Emma Stone is hot and definitely can play crazy as well as anyone. She definitely played crazy very well. She did. And I thought it was kind of neat. And I kind of picked up on it though, right? I kind of picked up like who the villain is and who the villain really is.
Yeah.
Because that caught on real quick.
It was not as subtle as I think they thought it was.
Yeah, it was not as subtle. Jen, let's break those notes out.
Okay, where should we start?
We'll start by saying hi to Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Okay, well, I don't really know where to start. So, anyways, I felt like they could have done the same movie. They didn't even have to include the Dalmatians. Like, it's fucking stupid that they killed her mom. But then she's really not, they like live in her house. She's not really like that mad at them.
I think she realizes that the Dalmatians were commanded to do that. It wasn't so much that the Dalmatians were inherently evil.
Right. No, I get it. But like, it was not necessary. Like, they didn't need to show Dalmatians at all. It literally had like no consequence to the theme, like whatsoever. So so my big complaint with the movie is that it suffers from like, I call it Disney syndrome, where it was just like a Disney movie. You had like the villain, but it's like the main character is supposed to feel like sympathetic towards them. But again, it's like, it's Cruella. You're not supposed to feel like bad for her. So in my opinion, the movie would have been better if the Baroness, and that's the other thing I have a problem with the Baroness, like she's really not a great designer. Like you look at her clothes and you're not like, holy shit, like wow, no wonder she's so popular and famous. Like it was very basic wear, like just lots of draping, like nothing really exciting.
I feel like maybe that's something that's more obvious to you than it is to me, because I see it and I'm like, I guess this is good.
Yeah, I know. That's most of my points are like the fashion aspect of it. I went into the movie, even if it had like a very basic Disney like plot, I was excited for the fashion. I was like, all right, well, at least I'll be able to visually like be interested in this movie. And I really would have loved if they would have done my favorite movie, Zoolander, how you have like Hansel and Zoolander and they're like opposing, but they're both really good. It's not like, oh, I'm surpassing this person because they're not as good as me. So it would have been really cool if the Baroness was actually like a really legitimate like fashion designer. I personally would have loved to see a lot of 1970s fashion. They make like a big deal that it's in the 70s, but you get like no 70s fashion like whatsoever. So it would have been really cool to actually see like some bell bottoms, big prints, like it's really easy to go avant-garde with 70s stuff.
Yeah, but were the Baroness's clientele, would they have been wearing the bell bottoms and floral prints and
that's what I'm saying is like she's not a good designer to aspire to be better than, because she's obviously very like old
uptight.
Yeah, there's no ingenuity there. So why would you be jealous of like, why is she so popular? There's no reason for her to think like, wow, she's so fresh, she's so good, like everybody should be trying to beat her. There was like, I don't know. It was
so
really
like maybe this is a really like horrible example. Were people really jealous of like Levi Strauss?
Fuck
as
yeah.
as a fashion designer. Where
Oh my
they're like,
gosh,
this guy's
yeah.
got it.
They're like, this guy's got it. Look it. I can like rub on anything.
No,
and
I think
I'm
we
not
all
hurting
understood
myself.
that jeans are
Like,
good.
that's where Grindhouse truly came to be, because they're just like, look, I'm not nothing happening. No friction
Nothing
burns,
happening.
nothing. Because Levi's did it right. But I actually, I don't even know how far we can go in this, because I think Spirit Scar has it right about this movie. A satanic inversion, turning things upside down. This was an overt agenda of Mao's communist China. This makes perfect sense now. I don't even know if I said that name right.
Mao,
right? Mao.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I said it right. Now, I think that holds up. I think that statement holds up with the fashion in this movie.
Well, I think you might have found something in this movie that I missed, but not saying it's impossible.
I did pick up on that though, right? Because it's like you're setting it in a timeline, right? But it didn't seem like, if I was actually being like, wait, is this the 60s or the 70s?
I agree with that. I kept questioning exactly what year it was supposed to be set in.
It could have been modern. Like there wasn't really anything
other than the music.
Yeah, well, even the music. Like she's supposed to be all punky, but then they didn't even do like any I wrote it down. Like no Misfits, no Dead Kennedys. Like they had like Blondie, but it was, of course, her most like popular song. So it was, even the music wasn't like edgy.
It is a Disney movie.
Yeah. I know. That's why I said it suffered from Disney syndrome. If you're looking at it just like
they played Blink 182. It's like, what is this? This is the 70s, 70s, 60s. We don't know.
Yeah. So
I liked the music, but I like more mainstream, music. So that's not a huge surprise. But I would love to see what the budget was for the music on this movie, because I swear there was a needle drop every 3 seconds. There was another song playing. Insane amount of music.
Yeah.
I looked it up. I want to say there was like 24 songs.
Jesus.
Yeah. And though, but if you do look at like British fashion in like the 60s and 70s, right? Like they had some crazy stuff. Like this is her trash dress, right? And that's more of it up. I could picture seeing something like this in a fashion magazine at that time.
Well, that was the best.
Not this though.
Yeah, you're not letting me talk. I have points on all of these things. You're going too fast. I'm going to literally spend like half an hour talking about this movie.
Well, our first guest is in 8 minutes, so.
Okay. Well, the trash dress, the garbage dress was definitely the best dress. Like that was the only time in the whole movie I was like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. So I liked that one. So show the next one with her standing on top of the car. Okay, so what's funny about this dress is there's a designer named John Paul Gaultier, and in 2008 he made this dress. It's like the exact same military top with a big giant tulle skirt. So this dress wasn't even that exciting because it's literally been done in 2008. And I know they say you can't really make anything new, but it's literally this exact dress. So that was really disappointing. And the bottom half looks like my prom dress that I wore in 2007. So this was really to me, her fashion in this movie was just that's what people think punk couture is. It was just so basic, nothing innovative, nothing that makes you go, oh, obviously she's a really amazing designer. It was just all basic. I just call the movie basic. It's just a basic movie. There was, I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
So, oh, okay. One thing I would like to point out that's really stupid. Whenever she gets pushed off the cliff and she's got a parachute skirt, and then she's in the fucking ocean, right?
That's James Bond right there.
And then 2 minutes later, she has dry hair, full makeup,
costume change,
driving in a car all the way from the bottom of the fucking mountain. And I was like, okay, I know it's a Disney thing, but that is just super, really fitting it in there. So.
Yeah.
Wow, these people are being mean to me.
I know. You see that? Look at that.
Oh, that's rude.
They would like to hear less of the female. Wow, that's a first.
Female.
I think it's because
know.
Grizz is so cute. He's got his combed beard, right? I'd like to hear less from the female. All right, female, you must go. I'm just kidding. This movie was made for her.
I just said I hated it.
Well, you got your wish. Anyways, Grizz, how's everything going? We got great. Oh, nope, she's back.
No, she's back.
Hey. Nah, it's all cool. He's just messing. They're just messing. See, I'm just kidding. The movie was made for her. It's a good movie. Nah, she hated it. Jen freaking hated the movie.
Jen didn't like it. You didn't like it all? Like if you take out that the fashion is not great, you didn't enjoy it at all?
I gave it a 6. Like
Oh,
Emma Stone, like was
good.
the best part of the whole
Yeah.
show. She was
I also like her two friends, Horace and Jasper. They were fun.
Yeah, but they were wimps.
Yeah, well,
They
they're
were
wimps in the original too. So
Yeah, but they made it extra wimpy. I wasn't feeling that. But I'll tell you what. You know what? I'm glad I didn't go to the theaters to go see that movie. It's not one I would. It's another Disney flick. I was just not impressed with it. I thought there was some cool stuff in it. Actually, Herrenberg made an interesting point, and he's probably right because he is really good with getting the all this information here. He says it was set in the late 70s. The soundtrack was extremely predictable, and everything was classic radio from the 60s and 70s. It would have been too early for Misfits and Dead Kennedys, Jen.
I'm just saying that you're right. It was all just very mainstream punk music. They could have done like a lot of different things with it.
Yeah. Well, I thought Emma Stone's performance was good, though. She's a good actress. I think she played it good, but I think the whole like transitioning thing was just like that, and all of a sudden it was like this crazy
it's a little quick.
character. It was a little quick, but I mean, you only have so much time.
They were supposed to allude, like at the very beginning, when she's a child and her mom is talking to her about like we're not doing Cruella, so she obviously had some like mental stability issues from the beginning. So I think it was just, I really would have liked it instead of like the dog's killed and she's got this necklace and she's murdered my mom or whatever. I would have just liked it better if they were equals and she just slowly turned insane trying to like just be better than this amazing
you want Amadeus. You want Amadeus and Salieri, one of them is just naturally better. No Amadeus fans here today.
No, they're about to tell you to get off the camera, so just keep talking. They're like, get this guy out of here.
He was nominated for a bunch of Oscars.
Can you say though? Would you compare this like in the same line as like the Joker, as some people in the media are doing?
I mean, I would make a comparison in that I don't think it's a necessary story to begin with, but 2, also that this story would probably have been more interesting if it wasn't actually tied to an existing property. Yeah. Like with Joker, I think that the mental illness story is really interesting and could have been very profound, but then they, shoehorn a bunch of DC stuff in there just to remind us this is a DC movie, and it wasn't like, necessary for the plot. Cruella, you tell me that this girl, her mother gets murdered and, by dogs, and she's going to be a fashion designer and all that's interesting enough, but with knowing who she has to be for the animated movie, I can't possibly root for her, so there's no point in doing this.
Man,
I don't agree with you at all.
Okay.
I love a good villain story. I wish there were more of them.
Yeah, I love a good villain story, but like they need to be the villain.
Well, that's what I was saying. That was my whole point, was that it shouldn't have been like, oh, the dogs killed my mom. And then like her, like, oh, this woman is like shitting on me. She's stealing my ideas. It would have been cool if they were actual competitors and her jealousy is what drove her to like, be against her so much.
Sure. Yeah. I'm just saying that like, you could tell a story where I'm supposed to like this girl and root for her in the end and all that. And that could be a good story. But because it's a Cruella story, she needs to be the bad guy because Cruella's a bad guy. And then, it gives you conflicting messages the whole movie, trying to get you to like her for most of it, while everyone knows that in the end she's going to be a horrible person. Really, really tough to give the fans motivation to get behind her. Do
you think this is just woke Disney?
No, I don't think it's that at all.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got a great first guest coming on tonight. We're going to bring him right on. And he's a man that, goes out. He checks out films. You can hear him review on his podcast as well. So I think I'm going to bring him in. I think let's get our first guest on. So everyone, please welcome Mr. Mitch Halleck, the producer of Terrific Con.
Terrific Con. Terrific Con.
Mitch, how we doing?
Oh, hey, I was just listening to my theme there.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right.
All right.
You?
Chatting a little bit. We're chatting. I know you like movies. You guys.
I do.
You go and you do these great things. You go to the pizza shop, get a pie, you sit, you talk, you review about it.
Yeah.
You take the time to watch Cruella?
No.
Will you take the time to watch Cruella?
No.
There
You're
we
not
go.
missing anything. Don't worry about it.
There we go.
I saw the 101 Dalmatians when I was a kid in the 70s, and I never saw the live action versions of them, and I don't care.
So there you have it. If Mitch isn't going to go see it,
I
don't
have
go see
less time in front of me than I probably do behind me now that I'm 50-something years old, so I don't want to waste it on
Movies you don't care about.
I don't care. I've never seen the Harry Potter movies. I've never seen the Twilight movies. I've never watched the Fast and Furious movie. I just don't care.
Well, you can definitely skip Twilight.
Why? You don't like sparkly vampires?
No.
There's nothing more intimidating than that. So, Mitch, we're back, man. We're back.
Yeah. We're back. Get to this thing, the happiness. Let's not talk about stories that I've seen 1,000 times already, and they just keep changing the name of the movie. And I go, wait, it's the lady with the white streak in her hair? Yeah, okay.
The one who skins the puppies.
Yeah. How many more times can you tell that? I get it. I know what's going on,
Definitely.
I don't need her origin story. Captain Ahab, the early years, see him before he lost his leg. The whole point is his whole conflict with the white whale. I don't need to see what he did before. The whole thrust of the 101 Dalmatians was the villainess who wants to get the puppies to make a coat of it. I don't need to see what turned her into that character because it doesn't affect the initial story that I saw her. When I saw Star Wars with Darth Vader, I would have liked maybe to saw what happened in the Clone Wars and his dad, but I didn't need to see that to enjoy the story they presented to me. So all this backstory, all this prequel nonsense, it really just deters from the original movie that you fell in love with because they have no new ideas. Mitch Halleck, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
In 2024 or whatever we are.
2024.
Come up with a new story. I don't care about the rehash of the one you told me already. So
yeah. No, I agree. It's kind of a boring entertainment industry right now.
Well, I mean, from a person who reads, I had this conversation today on my podcast with Paul Kupperberg, who's a writer for comic books. And we talked about how the comic books and even TV shows are the illusion that something happened, that really nothing ever does happen. I mean, Archie's Archie, Jughead's Jughead, Peter Parker's Peter Parker. You think the stories have evolved, but they really can't evolve because if they do, then that's not the story medium. It is. It's,
Yeah.
There's a reason why Superman and Batman have been around for 80 years. It's the same story again and again and again.
Yep, and the new audiences gravitate towards
and the
that
new
same
audience,
story.
they tweak it a little bit, so you think, oh, that's new now, but it's not really. So, it is.
Well, we buy it every time.
We do buy it every time. Yes, and speaking of buying every time, you should be buying your tickets because it is almost that time for the terrific Comic Con. There's other Comic Cons out there, but there's only one Terrific Con. It's in the name. Okay, we even call it that just because you get confused. Like, what's that Comic Con that's terrific? Terrificon.
There you go.
Easy to remember.
It's like a brain worm. Once it gets in there, it's there. And I have to say, it is my local Comic Con. Everyone out there in YouTube land, and I've been to a lot of conventions. I've been to some of the biggest conventions. I haven't been to San Diego. I won't lie there. I haven't been to San Diego, but by far, Mitch puts on one of the best, if not the best, convention that I've gone to because it truly is a comic book fan producing a convention.
Yes.
It's like he's anticipating what you want already. You go there and it's there. It's
what
weird.
I was doing when I was listening to you go on about this Cruella movie or Cruller movie? Is it about a big donut?
Yeah.
I was in Photoshop literally seconds before you just flipped me back on. I was making the billboards that are going to run on the highway starting next week. That's dedicated. You don't see the guy. You don't see Mr. San Diego Comic-Con. You don't see Mr. New York Comic-Con sitting there in his little cubbyhole with his computer making the digital billboards and wonder which typeface is going to look good as you drive by at 70 miles an hour and what's going to pop. That's what I do for a living. So yeah, I mean,
the only one I know that can compete, maybe Jen can compete with that dedication. I mean, that she's 24/7.
That's what this job is. No one is going to sell you more than you're going to sell yourself. Don't think that's going to happen. So you got to get out.
Thing in shameless promoting, shameless promoting, not at all. And I mean, you got some great guests lined up for this convention. You got some. Now, let me ask you a question. So, I mean, we were so pumped. We were ready for Terrificon 2020. Me and my buddies are ready to go. Tucci, all those guys. Yeah, we're gonna have a great time. Paul Miai's gonna be. We're gonna go out to dinner. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that.
Oh yeah.
And then shut down.
What, something happened last year?
Yeah, a small thing. I think they had a pipe break or something. I don't know.
Yeah, gas leak or something like that.
Someone smelled a little of that
radiation leak. Yeah.
That's all. And then we're stuck here, right? And just this hiatus of just waiting and waiting. But you got it rolling. Were you able to just kind of roll over a lot of those guests, or did you have to go reaching out to everyone again?
No, I mean, luckily everybody was ready to go for this year. As soon as I heard I couldn't do it, I already had the dates for next year, and I called everybody and emailed. They said, "Oh, we'll be there next year." And then you just sat there for a whole year with your fingers crossed, going lighting candles and like, God, I hope this is going to work. And I'd watch that daily COVID number every day. Mm-hmm. My wife's like, "Will you stop?" I'm like, "It's going down. It's going. Oh, go down. Go down. It's good. Wait, it does it every day." I was driving myself nuts, but yeah. Unless they had a schedule conflict, there's a couple actors that, well, I know one right off the top of my head. I can tell you now because he can't come. Doug Jones, who is the actor who is on Star Trek Discovery, but he's been in Hellboy. He's been in the Silver Surfer. He was the Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four movie. Zillion shows. Shape of Water. Yeah. And I even have the Funko Pop all set for him to sign it. But
he's tall.
He's really tall.
He's really tall.
They just told me last week because we were waiting to see if he could come, but because they had production problems because of COVID up in wherever they filmed Star Trek, Canada maybe.
Probably
I think
Canada.
Probably.
Yeah. So they had to shut the production down, wait 3 weeks, and then it's like a domino effect. Everything's got to be pushed back. So all the stories and all the scripts and all the actors that were going to be on those episodes have to redo their schedule. So he is booked now to like August. So he's not going to be able to come to Terrificon, but he will come next year because we already straightened that out. So I already got guests for next year already, which is crazy.
Oh, that's
but
crazy.
He's like the only one really that couldn't make it, So,
are you finding that you have a lot of people who are more excited to be coming to Terrificon this year? Because they were unable to go to stuff last year?
Yeah. As far as guests go, there was a little hesitancy around January and February because, people thought I was like crazy. I'm like, we're going to do this. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. And then finally, as the numbers started to get lower and, more vaccines, people started feeling better about it. And they're like, hey, this might actually fly. I'm like, well, yeah. So I've always been the true believer. Like, yeah, it's going to happen and we're going to get there. And then suddenly, like February or March, I think, people started going, wow, this really might happen. And lightly every day, the phone's ringing off the hook with people that want to come to the show and emails and guests and people I've never even heard of that, want to be at the show. So yeah, it's going bigger and better than I could ever imagine at this point. So yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. That's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear. And real quick, we just got a super chat in. This is for Jen. $5 super chat from 200 Watt Studio. Jennifer's glowing today. She has one of the best resting smiles. Usually they just say you look bored, Jen. Plus, we're making progress. We're making progress. So is it going to be bigger this year than last?
Bigger. What do you mean?
Like guest-wise, like you expecting more
I
ticket
noticed,
sales?
I noticed the media guests. Because I put the website together because I'm like nothing else to do here all day. But I was like, geez, there's a lot more media guests than there normally is, which I was like, oh, okay. Because first and foremost, it's a Comic-Con. It's comic book writers and artists. That's all I pride myself on. But I started getting voiceover actors and then Michael Rooker from Guardians of the Galaxy and Sean Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Ross Marquand from Walking Dead, and he was also in the
Avengers.
He was the Red Skull guy. So then I was like, wow, there's a lot of more actors than there normally is. And then, yes, I threw wrestlers in because I've been doing this now for 9 years, and every year I get people begging me, can you please get a wrestler? And I'm like, dude, it's not a wrestling show. But I said, fine. You know what? No one's been able to go to a convention in the last year and a half. Nobody. Okay. There's nothing. And I'm not counting a VFW hall. I'm not counting, like a comic shop that's got some, a writer there that day. I said, fine. What do you people want? What do you want me to do? It's like Christmas. Santa's got the wish list out. Whatever you want, send them on in. Dude, I've got a Power Ranger guy. I've said I've never had Power Rangers. I got a guy who's an anime voiceover actor. Johnny Young Bosch is his name. He's also a green and black Power Ranger. He was both. I don't know. I've never watched Power Rangers, but he's coming. So I've broken my cardinal rule. I've got these AEW wrestlers coming. This Darby Allin, Tay Conti, Sammy Guerra. I've a bunch of people I've never thought I'd have. A lot more voiceover actors. I even got a video game guy coming to the show. He was on this Red Dead Redemption game. Yep. He's a local guy, lives here in Connecticut. He was the main guy. So we're like, sure, you want to do that? Yeah. In fact, if you can click on the media guest tab, you could scroll down because I can't remember everybody. And you can just start showing some of the faces there.
So you're saying that this year it's a much greater blend of things than a typical Terrificon.
Yeah. Yeah. And just scroll down and you'll see. There's these people that I never would have before. Yeah, Rooker, Gunn, all those guys, and women too.
Oh, Scott Patterson. Yeah.
Scott Patterson. That's what my wife picked that because she liked Gilmore Girls. I'm like, he's got to have a comic book connection. We found out he was a voice in the Batman by Gotham by Gaslight. And he was in the Saw movies. So he counts. And he was on Alienation. So,
Nice. Oh, we got another $5 super chat here from Era. So excited for Terrificon. It really is a great show. Cool vibe, awesome people and guests. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you. I see his name all the time on the pages there on Facebook and stuff. Thanks, Era. Yeah, Adrian Paul, the Highlander. Yeah, I just got something from him tonight. He's going to be teaching sword play lessons. I got to get all the details on that. There's the fella I was just talking about. Power Ranger, anime star, you name it. This fella's done it.
Johnny Young Bosch.
And this is
Black Ranger.
This is for me. This is Land of the Lost.
Yes.
You got to be as old as Billy Tucci and I to know who these people are. But this was can you swear on this show?
Yeah. Do whatever you want.
Land of the Lost was the shit when I was a kid. Okay. We didn't have, Disney Plus or anything like that. Every Saturday you woke up and you watched the damn Land of the Lost, man. And, they were there looking at dinosaurs and, Stink the Monkey Boy or Chaka the Monkey Boy. I can't remember. There he is, Chaka. He's the next
Chaka,
one.
yeah.
He does not look like that. Okay, that was makeup. People have asked me if he will look like that. I go, for God's sakes, it was an actor. No. But Chaka, he's a lawyer now, so go figure.
Is he? Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the guy that thought of Land of the Lost also came up with Tribbles, David Gerald. He's a comic book guy as well. He'll be there. And there's some of the wrestling folks underneath.
He wrote The Trouble with Tribbles?
Yeah, he came up with that.
Oh, wow.
Little furry things that made noises and stuff. Yeah, that's to satisfy the wrestling crowd that keep bugging me every year. So there you go.
Darby Allin,
yeah.
Sammy Guevara.
And now we got some cartoons.
There we go.
Yeah. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. We've got Firestar. We've got Wonder Woman from the Justice League. We've got Hawkgirl from the Justice League. You name it. We got it. We got Superman.
George Newbern.
He was also on something called Scandal. My wife was telling me about.
Yes.
She's like, he's from Scandal. I'm like,
yeah, but that's Superman.
But that's what
Superman
I said.
to us, right?
And there's my man,
Larry Kenny.
Connecticut's own Larry Kenny will be back again.
Yes,
Yep.
I got to get him. I'm gonna get him on the show.
Oh, this one here. This is for my sister Debbie. Okay, this guy's birthday today. She goes, "Could you please get a soap opera fella?" I said, "You know what? For you, sure." So Tristan Rogers, I go, he's got to have a connection. Well, he was the voice on Disney's The Rescuers Down Under. He was the little mouse.
Oh,
so
nice.
Hey, that counts. I'm going to put
Babylon
that
5. That counts. Sky.
That counts, right? Yeah. And this
Perfect.
next guy,
What?
soap opera. So I was like, oh, we're not doing soap opera. Wait a minute. He was on the Karate Kid 3. Could that mean he's going to be on season 4 of Cobra Kai?
Very possible.
Ooh.
You're darn right it might be. So Sean Kanan will be there.
Actually, didn't they? I think they verified that.
Yeah, they did. So
They
there.
did.
And now we got Batman
Yes.
animated series. We got
There we go.
Robin himself or Nightwing, depending on your point of view. Poison Ivy, the man, the myth, the legend,
Robert
Harvey
Costanza.
Bullock. That's right, the donut eating cop himself. And there's your video game. So yeah, there's a lot of
Nice.
media guests that
Man.
are normally.
Now, I know sometimes you do like these dinner ticket things, and you
Yeah.
can go out. It's usually a group. Are you? I'm just asking, as a huge Batman the Animated Series fan, are you putting anything together for the voiceover cast, like a more personal thing for people?
Maybe if you again, if you want, just let me know. This is how it works. I sit there all day and go, "Do you guys want that?" And yeah, I want that. Okay, we'll figure something out. So
Yeah, that would be really cool. Is Kevin Conroy? Are you trying? Is he going to be able?
Kevin was supposed to come last year because he's right over here in New York. He was just going to train it.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's working on right now because I've been trying to get a hold of him again for like 3 months. So if he's out there listening, Mr. Conroy, check your email. What's going on? Yeah, I don't know. He was at the first Terrificon in 2015 over at Mohegan, and he was like one of the biggest hits in the world. But here's the reason why we get up in the morning. Here's all your comic book creators and your artists and your writers. Donnie Cates, who just got announced as the new person in charge of the Hulk comic.
Yes.
Yes, the big deal.
I saw his post. He says, "I'm chilling on the beach. I told Marvel to announce it," and there you
He's
have
on
it.
his honeymoon right now.
Yeah. Got Tim Sale. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I got an original
legendary
sketch
artist.
from him over there. I love the Long Halloween, guys. That's going to be
there
coming
it
up in
is.
this future episode once that releases. That's all
the
Tim
animated
Sale.
show coming out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got Dan
Dan
Jurgens,
Jurgens,
another
Rooster
incredible.
Gold.
Yeah, Ron Garney's coming up. I went to
Ron.
school with Ron, lives over here in Connecticut, another Connecticut guy.
Oh, he is in Connecticut? I didn't realize Ron was in
And
Connecticut.
believe it or not, in one moment at Southern Connecticut State University in New Haven, Connecticut, in that school building, you had Ron Garney, Michael Jai White, aka Black Dynamite,
Yep.
and myself, all in the same room at one time. So who knew?
Wow, that's.
In
I'm
1980
surprised, the universe didn't collapse on itself.
It should have. It should have said, "Hey, this is too much star power for one school."
Well, Michael's opening up the film studio.
He is
in New Haven.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right, New Haven. Yeah,
And they've
he was
got
here 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's contract. Like I think they're opening. Did they open? Was it April they opened, or they're opening very soon?
I know he's filming something here in Connecticut in July,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. He's going to do a sequel to
Yeah.
Black Dynamite, which is one of the funniest movies you'll ever see, if you've never seen it.
We'll have
He
to add
should have
that.
been Luke Cage. If there was a God and they made Luke Cage back in the 80s or 90s, Michael Jai White should have played Luke Cage.
Miss
can agree with that.
Amanda,
That's right.
and then
And then,
Jimmy.
That's right. The Godfather of comics is coming to town.
Make sure to set them apart. They get handsy. I
Yeah.
always gotta tell them on the show. I'm like, hey, you guys, 2 feet, 24 inches,
Let's
24
see some
inches.
daylight between you two.
Yeah. Klaus Janson, nice.
Yeah, legendary Klaus Janson. Lee
Lee
Weeks.
Weeks.
Yeah.
Megan
That's
Hutchinson.
Donnie's wife right
Yeah.
there. Megan Hutchinson. They've been
Is that the
married.
first time she's come to Terrificon?
Yep.
That is
Yep.
the first time for her, yeah.
She was supposed to come 2 years ago, and she couldn't make it. Sean Murphy found out that Mr. Palmiotti's coming in, and I got a call. They're like, hey, Sean wants to come down. So he will be down on Saturday.
Awesome.
Flowers.
The legend Jim Starlin.
Garland.
Yeah. Mr. Thanos.
He's at some event today with Rob Liefeld, I saw. They're over
Oh,
at
is he
Disney.
now? Yeah.
Dave
And then
Johnson. Dave's a cool dude. Have you ever met Dave before?
Dave's been at Terrificon 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Yeah, he's a cool dude.
They were going to do a drink and draw. Koi Fam's another
Koi Pham.
local guy. Has never been at the show, but he's coming.
That's a name I haven't heard of.
Oh, he's been around. He's done.
Yeah,
some
yeah. And I see that there.
Spider-Man. Yeah. Pat Broderick.
Pat Broderick.
legendary Pat Broderick.
Howard Mackey.
Howard Mackey, the writer. Yeah. Ghost Rider.
Keith Williams, stand-up guy right there.
Oh, yeah. He's a fixture at these shows. Then there's the one. Look at this. 93-year-old Joe Giella. The guy's worked on everything in 70 years now. It's crazy.
Saturday only. See that?
Yeah.
Saturday only.
For a couple hours. His lines go nuts when he shows up. It's
Oh
like-
yeah, I mean, and I hate to sound morbid, but I mean, we're losing great artists every year, in abundance, and there's not too many with a portfolio like his.
No, he worked on the first Green Lantern, Modern Green Lantern, first Poison Ivy appearance. I mean, this is his first Justice League comic
Yep.
book. He was an inker on that. So yeah, Joe Giella.
Got Franco.
Yeah, our man Franco.
They still have the shop in Harrison.
Yeah, I was just there last week. Oh yeah,
Nice.
comics.
Nice. That's my wife's hometown. That's where my mother-in-law
Harrison, New
lives.
York. Yeah. Oh, there's that troublemaker.
There's that local guy. He's
Gary
trouble.
Ordway.
Yeah. I really hope he makes it someday. I feel like he's got some talent.
Yeah, I've heard that. This guy I was just at the diner with today. We were throwing things. They threw us out. Paul.
Oh, Paul?
Yeah,
Yeah.
troublemaker. Another troublemaker.
Alex.
Yeah.
I've never met him.
You haven't?
No, I haven't met him before.
Oh,
Michael. I'll have to
Connecticut.
see. Michael Golden.
Yes, Connecticut guy.
Yep.
This next one, I tell you, Guy
Yes.
Gilchrist, dude, I didn't grow up with the Muppet Babies, but I've seen like grown men, rough and tough cops, like cry when they meet this guy. It's literally Guy Gilchrist.
Yeah.
He has a line down the street for everybody looking for Muppet Babies, like Miss Piggy Baby and Fozzie and Kermie and all that stuff. And he just draws them all day long. Just huge. I couldn't believe how big a hit he was at the last show.
Yeah, everyone loves Muppet Babies.
I loved Muppet Babies as a kid.
I love Muppet Babies.
See?
Muppet
Babies.
Babies. Make all your dreams come true.
Come on, Miss Piggy, we gotta go on the ship.
Oh my God. Well, I know where you'll be sitting.
I know, right? I'll be like, hey, Guy. I had Mitch on my show once. Can I get a drawing?
No.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
No,
Yeah,
I
you would.
wouldn't.
More
There may be
Connecticut
others out
folks.
there that would. David
Dave
Wenzel. He's
Yes,
a
he-
local guy.
Yeah, he teaches up at University of Hartford. The art,
Yeah.
but he's also a comic book artist. He used to work on the
Mm-hmm.
'70s Marvel stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. And his he's The Hobbit. He's working
The
on
Hobbit,
some
yeah.
amazing things. I have a few books of his. I talked to him a few times. He lives in the town next to me.
Yeah.
Really nice guy. Mark Morales, he's a great
Oh,
artist.
good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike McCone.
Mike McCone.
The Road Warrior.
Yep.
Yeah, he used to go to shows and just like hang out in his car all the time. Like, are you in a room anywhere? No.
It's like a van lifer.
This-
Scott
yeah.
Hanna.
Yeah.
This is the problem I always run into at conventions is deciding between all these great comic creators that I want to meet and all of these celebrities that I want to meet. And there's just not enough time in the weekend.
Well,
Yeah.
it's true. How do you think I feel? I'm like the guy at his own wedding. I don't get to see any of these people. I invite them, fly them in, and then before you know it, they're leaving. I'm like, wait, I didn't see you.
Yeah. No, you got a great lineup here. Graham
Yeah,
Nolan.
fantastic.
I mean, Brett Breeding, awesome. Justin Gray. It is a heck of a line. And you still have more Billy Tucci. I don't know.
Oh, that guy. Well, you
I
know,
don't know about that guy.
by law, I have to have Tucci there. I don't want to. I want to have
Yeah.
Jerry Tucci, but unfortunately, Jerry's busy, so we had to get Billy Tucci. Yeah,
Yeah. What are you gonna do? And this is still growing. You have more to announce, right?
I know. I still have more, and I'm like, okay, enough already. Half of this list would be enough for a convention, but no.
Yeah. Oh, Jamie's gonna be there. I love Jamie.
Yeah,
She's
they got the
so
brand new
cool.
Dreadstar book coming out.
Yep. Yeah, but she's so much fun to hang out with. If you guys go there, say hi to Jamie, and she's a very talented artist.
Steve Montano's
Steve,
a local guy.
Chris
Another
Campana.
one. Yep.
Is this gonna end? What is going on here?
No, I know, right? Well, I think there's one
How
more.
many more? There we
Yeah,
go.
no, that's it for now.
All right. Incredible.
Who needs
Incredible
those
lineup.
big shows? You got it. Connecticut's got it all, man. You know.
Yeah, and it's at the Mohegan Sun. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Once you're
I know
done, go
somebody was
gamble.
asking me- they were asking me for an after party, and I used to do them every year.
hmm
But I was like, I was competing against the Mohegan Sun. After a while, I'm like, this is crazy. They've got comedy clubs, nightclubs, dance clubs, 30-something restaurants. There's gambling everywhere. I'm like, oh, you come over here. Mitch has got karaoke. I mean, it's like, really? You really want to do it?
No, that's
Right.
great. So now we know the fate of Terrificon because it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Do you have to then jump right into GamerCon after
I
that?
do. I'm crazy this year. I usually post them 5 or 6 months apart, but GamerCon got rescheduled 3 times last year. March, like literally the week before the pandemic broke out. I was like, I don't know, something's coming this way.
Mhm.
Big snowstorm called coronavirus. I don't know what that is. And then everything shut down. And then I moved it to September and everything was still shut down. Then I moved it to March. Same story. So now it's this September. So right after Terrificon ends, I'm just folding the tent up and flipping it around. And then it's video games and Pokemon and Magic the Gathering, and we're doing that in September. And then, there was going to be a third show before COVID broke it all up last year. It was going to be a horror convention.
I'll tell you what, if you want to get into horror or like paranormal stuff, let me know. I've got some great connections there. So do it. Come on.
Well, you know what the name of it was?
What was it?
Horrific Con.
Oh, that's good.
That's really good.
Horrific Con was the comics. Horrific Con was the horror. And it was the same thing. Yeah, ended with a C. But thanks, COVID. So that got postponed. So we'll see what happens.
I hope that happens. I love the paranormal.
Let's do next year, because my wife goes, "You're really going to do 2 shows back to back?" I was like, if I live, yeah.
I'm going to tell you, just be prepared, though. If you do it, you're going to be getting messages from me.
Oh, no, really? You're one of those guys?
Yeah, you're going to get some messages. I'm going to be like, hey, you want this person on? Hey, you want that person on?
For GamerCon, when will we have information on who, what the games that'll be there? Any guests?
Oh, the tournament. Well, that'll be soon, because I have the tournament registration. I have the schedule. So if you want to get on the board, the Super Smash Brothers tournament, we'll have all that. And honestly, this is the time I wish I didn't do everything myself, because I've been thinking about that. Because people are like, I keep following GamerCon on Instagram, but all it is all day mentions about Terrificon. I go, yeah, I know, I can't. Go to that show, and then we'll switch over. But we'll have stuff there. And I got, what I love about GamerCon? There's these video game bands, which I didn't know was a thing until a couple years ago. And these dudes come up with these synthesized music, and they play the themes to like Zelda, and you're like, that's a thing, really? And they have these monitors, these giant screens where they show like clips of the video games as they play the music. It's really trippy, but it's really cool at the same time.
Yeah.
So Super Thrash Brothers, and I can't think of the other ones.
They're local, right?
Yeah, there was
my buddy Dave's the drummer in one of them.
Power Glove was one that we tried to get, and it's just amazing. Yeah. Lame Genie, that's one. Lame Genie sounds like Game Genie, but it's called Lame Genie.
Yeah,
but the music's great. And then I like pinball machines because I'm old school. I'm analog, so we have like a whole room of pinball for me to play, while everybody else is playing video games and Magic the Gathering and all that stuff. So,
nice.
It's
cool,
crazy,
man. That's going to be a good time. It's going to be a great time. Good conventions you put. Kudos to you, man. You really do. You kick ass, and it's just you. It's you.
I know. What if I had a real job? Like I had to go to work again.
It sucks. I don't recommend it.
Suck.
I did it before. I did it for a long time, and then one day I sat the epiphany, because I was in an ad agency. So I would make a beautiful ad to help you sell like this mouse, and you'd go out and make $1 million on it, and I'd still get the same check. And I'm like, wait a second. The reason why that's selling is because I came up with a cool idea, and everyone's talking about it, and they have to buy it, but I got the same money. Why am I doing this? So
Chase your dreams. Chase your dreams. Yeah. Now, TJ's asking, says, when's the vendor and artist alley lists? When will those be posted?
When they stop selling them, when they stop buying them. Because what happens is every day I'm getting another, hey, can I get a table? Can I get a table? So I do have this huge spreadsheet that has everyone's name. When I finally go, okay, we're closed, there's no more room at the inn. That's when I copy paste it and I put them all out there so you can see.
All right, perfect. And then if anyone out there is interested in getting a table, if you have some available, how do they contact you?
You know what? Just go to Terrificon.com. There's a tab there that says Artist Alley Exhibitor Table. You click it, and it says what's left. It says there's an Artist Alley table. Here's a 10 by 10 table. Here's an island. There's no more corner booths left. Everybody wants a corner, but I gotta have like aisles. You can't just have corners everywhere. It'll look weird. So that's there, but they're still on sale.
Nice.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you allow cosplayers in your convention?
Oh, for God's sakes, yeah. Yeah,
I told her you did
every year.
Well, some conventions like Denver, you're not allowed to buy an artist alley or exhibitor booth. So
no, I actually had cosplay tables.
Oh yeah, okay. That was my question.
Yeah, because the thing of it is, they would buy a weekend pass. A weekend pass is $85, and usually you go with 2 people. So I was selling cosplay tables for like $200. It was ridiculous because you were getting a free table actually, because you'd buy 2 tickets for you and your friend. That was like $170 together anyway. And then I'd give you a table with 2 chairs that you could set up all your photos and whatever else, shirts, clothing, jewelry, whatever you would sell. And they would be down the long hallway. When you walked in, there was like 15, 20 cosplay tables. I'm like, you're here anyway. If you want to sit down and have a place to sit down and sell some stuff while you're here, cosplay table.
Yeah,
There you go.
Why they won't let them in the artist alley? What's that about now?
Denver, you can't buy like C2E2, for example, you can't be an artist alley. You can only buy an exhibitor booth. But Denver, you're not allowed, no cosplayers, period. They don't even do like cosplay tables or anything.
Why?
I don't know. There's even like in Denver a really strict dress code. I wore my Power Girl costume, and I was afraid that I was showing too much cleavage, so I had to like constantly be.
I did have. I gotta admit, I am a bit of a prude. I told somebody they had to wear clothing because they had a person that was going to be just all body painting, and I said it's kind of like a PG-13 show. You know what I mean? Because they, oh no, I'm covered in paint. I said, yeah, I know that, but you're naked at the same time. They're like, no, it's okay. But I was like, I don't know.
Is it?
I saw a guy in New York Comic Con years ago. He had a long trench coat on. He walked into the men's room. This is downstairs when the artist alley used to be downstairs. And he went into the men's room, and then he came out, and it was completely gray bodysuit with a Batman mask and a cape. And it took me a second to realize he had no pants on. And by the time he got on the escalator, they were already waiting for him at the top. The cops were. And they got him there. And I was like, oh my God, that guy's naked. You know, it's just you just see the Batman mask and the cape, and you don't think, and then you realize it was drawn on the Batman logo, the bat, and then he had no pants on whatsoever.
It's like, what's hanging from his utility belt?
That's what I got.
Is that what kind of grappling hook is that?
Batman's got like a flashlight hanging down. Oh my God! You know?
Is that the battery? Oh my God!
Yeah. I don't know what this guy was
That's
thinking.
Crazy.
You know,
that's insane.
You know what? You know how I noticed he had bare feet. That's what made me look. Because he was getting on the escalator. My brain said, "Is that guy's toes showing?" And then I look and I see his bare feet. And then I look up. I go, "Oh my!" There's his Batarang was there. It was long before the Brian Azzarello Damned book came out. So
yeah, 200 Watt Studio says Batawang.
That's where that probably came from. Yeah, New York Comic Con 2014, I think it was. Yeah. So we don't have that at Terrificon. There's no naked Batman. Watch me say that. And then this year we're gonna have Batman running around with no pants on.
Yeah. Well, Mitch, hey, I appreciate you coming on talking about Terrificon. Looking forward to it. And everyone out there, you know, if you want, you can get tickets over. They can purchase some on the website.
Yeah, Terrificon.com. And if you're in Connecticut or even New York, you can go buy them at some local comic shops, and I have them all listed. Cave Comics, Oh Yeah Comics, Boom Tube Comics, and I'm forgetting the other one, but they're out there.
Yeah, I'm at the Cabana. Anyone in the
that's it. Richie's Comic Cabana in Waterbury. Sorry about that. Richie will be yelling at me.
He doesn't know how technology works. He doesn't even know that you can watch things like this on a computer.
He's got his VCR on right now. Yeah. It's making 12 o'clock. Richie doesn't know.
He has no clue. He's probably asleep in his chair. Yeah, he has the Betamax. Yeah,
he does.
But hey, man, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. And I've got some other show ideas if you'd like to pop on in the future. It'll be cool. But,
hey, man, I'm just going back to work on Photoshop on the show right now. I have no life. So if you want to call and break it up and get me away from doing show stuff, please do.
Will do. We got a lot of cool stuff lined up. So enjoy it. Get those other promos done, and we'll get back on the show soon.
I will. I'll see you all. What is it, like 50, 68 days? I don't know. There's a countdown somewhere. Somebody tells me 56 days, I think it is. Or something.
56 days. We'll say it's 56 days, everyone.
It sounds
56 days.
And if that's too early, just get there and wait.
Yeah, just get there and wait.
Sure.
There's a great buffet at Mohegan Sun. It's like $15.
Krispy Kreme too, and if you show your vaccination card, you get a free donut. That's Joe Caramagna's been going every day for 45 days now. Follow Joe Caramagna over on Facebook and Instagram. He's the letterer at Marvel. He's been getting a free donut every single day for 46. His goal is to hit 200 days, not 200 pounds.
Hopefully he makes it.
He's going to not have COVID, but he'll have diabetes.
That's what I said. I said, they don't have a vaccination for diabetes, Joe, so stop eating the donuts, please. Stop. All right. It's good. Nice. Thanks for having me on again.
Definitely. We'll talk to you later.
Bye, Mitch.
Bye. Yeah, great show. Yeah, hopefully you guys can make it out there. It should be a good time. And hopefully I can get my schedule work to get out there at least one day. But we got a super chat here I wanted to pop in. It wasn't really relative to conversation, but this is a question for Jen. So now that we're through with Mitch, I want to bring it up. It's from 200 Watt Studio. Jen, I am also a photographer. What gear do you use, and do you like to shoot inside or out?
Oh, goodness. So I only have one camera and one lens. I use a Nikon D500, and it's a 35 millimeter prime lens. So I shoot everything like portraits, still life, wildlife photography, like all that stuff with just that one lens. I have a 1.4 f-stop 35 millimeter lens, so it's really good in low light, which is really awesome. I only use continuous lights since I do all self-shooting, and I usually prefer to do indoor stuff just because it's easier to control your lighting, which if you do it outside, the sun is always constantly changing, so it's hard to constantly be adjusting the camera settings. Mm-hmm. So inside is definitely a lot easier, though I do enjoy natural light. It's totally different, but looks really nice too.
Nice. Awesome. And if they'd like to continue this discussion of equipment with you, where can they have that conversation, Jen?
The only DMs I actually check are my OnlyFans. Usually my Instagram and Twitter are nothing but dick pics, so I limit myself to DMs on
No.
But it's free to join and free to message me, so
nice. Cool. So, all right. So, in the theme of the Night of the Mitches, the great Mitches tonight, we have the Mitchinators. we've got the leader of the pack here, an incredible comic creator, a credible person, well known in the industry, has definitely paved his way with his own path with allegiance. Everyone, please welcome Mitch Brightweisser to the show. Mitch, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, Nile. How are you?
Doing well. Glad to have you back on the show. Glad to see a new campaign up and running on Indiegogo.
Yes, it is. We're very proud of it. The Saints. I've been to Terrificon. I didn't get to talk to Mitch, but it was great seeing him on your show. And Terrificon is, in fact, perfectly branded. It is a terrific con, one of the best I've ever been to.
Nice. Well, you got to get back there this year. Go this year.
Connecticut is a long way from Little Rock, Arkansas, but I would love to go back.
Yeah, no, it is a fun time. That'd be cool if you attended. Maybe one of these years you'll get back there. So, Mitch, man, it's been a while since we had you on the show. For anyone out there that isn't familiar with what you're doing with Allegiance and everything, can you kind of just give us a scoop on what you've been up to in like the past year? You know, creating Allegiance, getting all this stuff going, and then now with the new book.
Yeah, well, it's a lot to say, but I'll distill it as best I can. So my wife, Elizabeth, who is an Eisner-nominated color artist. Many of you may know who she is. Her work has been on Fatale and Velvet and Outcast and many other projects. And we worked at Marvel Comics together and did a lot of cool projects. And anyway, we started a company in 2019 called Allegiance Arts after we had successfully pitched Walmart and their distribution partner ReaderLink on a comic book startup. So we set about in 2019 building essentially a comic book company from scratch, and we are currently publishing 4 titles. Well, I guess now 5, although we're just taking pre-orders for the Saints. But we have Red Rooster, The Futurist, Nora's Saga, and The Great Bass Reeves, which is an excellent book. They're all great, but we love Bass. Yeah, we started shipping those into Walmart in May of 2020. So right smack in the middle of COVID, we decided to launch a company. But it's been interesting. So when we launched in May, we were actually the only comic book company with distribution because Diamond at the time was on a hiatus. And so there for about a month and a half or so, I can't remember exactly, we were the only comic book company actually shipping comic books or distributing comic books. So that was a lot of fun. And we launched into Walmart with these displays. This is our 2021 display right behind me. Thank you very much.
Nice.
And I've got it stocked full of all of our different books and titles. And we just released our 3rd set of episodes for these 4 titles into Walmart in April, I think it was. And we're now working on our release for our episode 4 books, and we're working on trade paperbacks. We've launched a new campaign called The Saints, and what else? We've got some other projects in the works as well, but I can't really talk about those quite yet.
Yeah,
we've just got a lot of cool things going on, and we're very, very busy.
Now, the current titles that you have under Allegiance that can be purchased over at probably most Walmarts, I would say now. How long are the arcs on these? Like these series, are they just ongoing till you guys decide to stop, or are these like 5-issue sets, 10-issue sets?
6.
Okay.
So yeah, we're doing like seasons and episodes, because the thought was, well, for a couple reasons. One, we go into Walmart. A lot of people haven't seen a comic book, so we're picking up a lot of brand new comic book customers, which is very exciting. So we're introducing a lot of people that are just kind of casual shoppers back into comic books, whereas they might not have seen one, on a drugstore shelf or a Target shelf or a Walmart shelf in 20 or 25 years or so. But we wanted to talk to them in a language or a parlance that they are more familiar with, like on Netflix. So we went with seasons and episodes. So each of our seasons will be 6 episodes long, and then we'll reboot them for a season 2. So we kind of do our reboots baked into the cake, and that gives us a chance to kind of bring in another new artist or writers, or switch things around, or just send the characters down entirely different paths that they encountered on season 1, do new marketing around a season 2, and all that kind of stuff.
Nice. That's cool. I like that concept. It makes sense with the way, how consumers are with, their entertainment, and labeling it that way, especially to people that are new to comics. I think it's a little more catching.
It's working.
Yeah.
And people like it. I haven't got any.
I also have a question. Go, Jen.
Go, Jen.
So
I like the fingers.
What made you decide to do single issues instead of like a trade paperback? Because if somebody has never bought a comic book before, and they can get like the whole story in one, so they don't have to keep going back.
Well, it makes a lot of fiscal sense, for one, because the comic book is, we are 22 to 24 pages long, 32 pages total, staple bound, so they're a little cheaper to produce than a trade paperback, and also we're able to get them to market a little quicker and get them out on the retail shelf and sell them to customers. So actually get the characters and the titles into people's hands and get them to fall in love with it, hopefully. And also they're only going to be printed once, so they're the sort of the collectible portion of this. And then when we rebundle them back into trade paperbacks for customers that really like that format, or that are retailers that prefer to put those kinds of thicker books on their store shelves, then we are able to sort of repackage the content and create a longer tail of sales, really. So it's a way of giving everybody kind of the different things that they might like. And we'll reprint on the trade paperbacks, but the comic books, as of now, where they're pretty much, we print them and we're not going back to press on them. So I like that sort of collectible aspect of it. It drives people out, gets people coming to the store, and gets them, collecting, which is, part of what comics is all about.
So my question is, and forgive me if this is a stupid question, are you the only comic books being sold at Walmart right now, or are there other publishers that they started selling as well?
So right now, we're the only comic book company making new comic books. So sometimes you can go into Walmart and you'll find like reprints or bundled editions of like Marvel or DC books, and they'll come in like a 3-pack or a 4-pack or whatever, and they'll sell them for $10 or whatever dollars. But those are all just sort of reprints or backstock, or I don't know where they come from, to be quite honest. But we're doing brand new comics, fresh out of the printer, straight into the Walmart distribution cycle or into Walmart stores in these displays, which can be found in the books and entertainment section.
Very cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, my local Walmart has theirs set up, and it's set up right. It's set up right.
Good. Yeah. It's been a bit of a learning curve because Walmart is we're dealing with two huge beasts here. One is Walmart and their different managers and staff, and you get a lot of there's a lot of variance in Walmart. It's like there's got a couple thousand just really incredible stores, and then you got some that are like not as on it. But we're also dealing with a new distributor. Instead of Diamond, we're dealing with Walmart's distributor that also does a lot of other retail stores like Target and Rite Aid and Kroger and Hudson News and other bookstores and stuff like that. But they're new to the comic book floppy space. And so, the year one of this was sort of a learning curve for everybody, us included, on how to get comic books out. Of course, we had stickers on our first issues, which was,
not ideal.
That was, I was traumatized.
But with the stick, but do you know, like CGC and stuff, when there's actually stickers from a retailer, supposedly that's not to affect your grading.
Yeah, supposedly.
Really?
Supposedly, yeah.
Well, it affected my life.
I bet it affected your DMs or whatever. Any way someone can contact you. I'm sure you heard about it.
I did, but we solved it. They plagued the first 2 episodes that we released. They got better with the second episode, but with the third episode, we finally figured out how to get it to work. And the reason that happened is that if you go to Walmart, every single book, which goes through the distributor, because they do the whole books department, every book on Walmart has a sticker, every single one. So when our books hit the distribution center, all their employees are like, Walmart, sticker, 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 sticker. So they stickered every single one of them. They didn't have to. And it was, looking back, it's a little comical, but it wasn't fun at the time.
Now, Euladamas is just asking, what's the price range for the books?
The books are $4.98, and we're doing 32-page staple-bound comic books. The stories, we're making the stories a little bit longer, and our paper stock is 70 pounds. So we're giving a really nice paper stock, and we're typically doing 22 to 24 or 25-page stories. So our stories are a little meatier than sort of the standard 20-page comic book.
Nice. Well, that's cool.
And the reason we did 70-pound paper is because we want people to handle these. I want kids to come up and touch them and grab them and look through them, but also don't want them to damage the books. So we sprung for a better paper stock so they'd be a little more durable and sustainable on the shelf.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And if anyone's interested, head over to your local Walmart, head over to the books entertainment section, see if they have the display up. If not, ask an employee there, because they may have the display located in a different part of the section. Yes, Grizz.
I was just going to say, also on Allegiance website, they have every Walmart that is carrying their books.
Are supposed to.
Or are supposed to, by state. So just find your state and find your local Walmart. I checked ours. It's on there.
Awesome.
I've never seen it. I'm going to have to check next time.
Please do.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then, so now we've got the campaign on Indiegogo.
Yes. Also Walmart.com, by the way. So they're also available on Walmart.com if you don't have a Walmart in your area or your Walmart doesn't carry them. Just
actually does bring up a good question for me. If you said that you're not going to reprint the books, or am I more likely to be able to find the back issues on Walmart.com or?
Yeah. So they're not actually back. Well, yeah, they are back issues, I guess, but we ship them from the printer directly to the .com warehouse thing. So we set aside a certain number and they just store them there. But as of now, I think almost all the books are still there. I think we might have sold out of 1 or 2, but you can still get, I think, most of them, if not all of them, on Walmart.com. But those are also limited in quantity, right? So once those are gone, they are gone, because the way it works is when they pull them off the shelf, it works like the old newsstand model. So when they're pulled off the retail store shelf, they're everybody's going to cringe, but they're destroyed essentially, because shipping them around and shipping them back and forth and putting them on .com, it costs way more. It would cost more money than just simply destroying the books. But that's the way the book market works.
Yeah. Just don't think about it, people.
Yeah.
Just don't think about it. But so we got the Saints now on Indiegogo. This has been up. It's only been up. Are you in your second week? A week or so?
1 week.
So,
yeah, we've been up a week.
Fantastic. So you guys have made your goal. You're up to 143 backers. I'm going to play the campaign video for everyone, and then we'll go into the campaign.
Please do.
Nope, not playing. Reload the player. Let's see. Here we go. Oh,
there we
Vimeo.
go.
That looks amazing.
It is amazing. With Mike Baron and Christian Rosado involved, it's certainly a compelling offering, I believe.
Yeah.
But thank you.
That's cool. So Mike Baron's on this. Mike Baron's a cool dude. He's
cool.
an interesting cat, but I like talking to him.
I do too. He's cut from a different cloth, but he really is like a great professional. He delivers, and he delivers not just timely, but he delivers action page to page. And he really knows how to write a good comic book script. Like, he knows his stuff.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about the Saints.
All right, so The Saints is our 5th and newest title from Allegiance Arts, and it's set in a contemporary setting. It follows the story of basically a bad boy archaeologist called Jean-Marc Lapointe, who is a bit of a fringe character, but also a bit of a celebrity. He's sort of eschewed by the science community and the establishment, right? So if I had to describe him, I would describe him as like Graham Hancock meets Jake Paul, I guess, if that's kind of a weird mashup, but that's essentially the character. But he's on the cusp of a world-altering discovery, which would make him incredibly famous and incredibly wealthy. But in doing so, he uncovers a secret that a sort of a dark and clandestine organization would very much like to keep secret. So the setup is they sabotage his dig, and he finds himself overnight as an international fugitive from justice. And then he's recruited by a mysterious secret organization called the Saints, which is a covert group of individuals with a science and military and anthropology and archaeological background that are protecting humanity from this sort of dark cabal. And that's it.
Awesome. Now, with the development of this, like, you're working, you have Baron working on it and everything, and your artists on this. I mean, what is the development process for this book?
So the book was created by Patrick Stiles and myself. He was our chief operating officer for about 1.5 years and co-creator of the Futurists and Nora's Saga as well. And it was inspired by, so we really love history and archaeology and all this kind of stuff. And the roots of the Saints was way back when ISIS was running rampant all around the Levant, and they were destroying all these like amazing sites like Palmyra and many other ruins that are really World Heritage sites. And we're like, oh, like there's nothing that can be done, and they're just running rampant. But we just kind of like essentially it was like, well, what if there was an NGO or some kind of secret organization that was tasked with protecting these things, that was operating outside of government controls, right? And so that kind of spawned the concept. And now the book has nothing to do with ISIS or any of that, like terror, like not really, contemporary terrorism. We delve more into, cabals and secret societies and that kind of stuff instead. But that was the roots of it. And it just, we created this character, Jean-Marc Lapointe, who's a great, front man for the project. And he's this, renegade adventurer playboy kind of guy. And we created an outline essentially after several discussions and pitched it to Mike Baron, and he loved it, and he's also really into this kind of stuff as well. Mm-hmm. And so he was a perfect fit, and he essentially grabbed the outline by the throat and did a heck of a job writing scripts. And I think he's already into episode 4 at this point. So he's really moving.
Oh, wow. He's gone ho with this.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So it's very awesome. I love that he's like getting it all done right up front. And Christian is also amazing. So Christian Rosado is the artist that Elizabeth discovered. Actually, he's out of Peru. His work came across her radar, and she's like, "Hey, you got to take a look at this. He's really good." And in fact, he is really good, and he gets better every single day. It's pretty awesome to watch. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's already 27 pages into the project, which is pretty awesome as well. And he's coloring it, drawing it, inking it, and like he's a phenom.
Oh wow! So he's handling all the art. Everything.
All of the art. Yeah, he's doing it all. It's pretty cool.
Now, what about the covers? Is he doing the covers too?
He's also doing the covers. So the 2 painted covers that you
Yep.
see are all his. Like I'm a little jealous.
The
To be quite honest.
covers are really amazing. Just
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
good.
I mean, that's quite. I mean, he's got quite a range.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's like
Hang on to him.
we're
Hang
trying
on
to make
to
him very happy, and I think he is. He's been great to work with. He's a super nice guy. He's got a little family. Just had a baby.
Nice.
And we're just treating him like as well as we possibly can.
Like, look at that. That's incredible. That actually, to me, like, I would be like, I would almost, when I looked at that, I was like, whoa, it could be like a video game.
Yeah,
Like a
I was
video
getting Metal
game
Gear
fight.
Solid vibes.
Right?
Solid Snake.
That's awesome. And I like the other stretch goal stuff that you guys have, or exclusive perks and collectibles here. I love the Saint lapel pins. I mean, that looks awesome. The bookmark with the ammunition and all the gear on the back side of it. That's really cool. You got the trading card pack.
Yes.
Now, I heard with trading cards that it's actually the most expensive part of the trading cards is the wrapper to put them in.
I would have to look at my invoice, but that's probably correct. Yeah. But the guy that, or the company that did our trading cards for Red Rooster was really good. And I feel like we got a pretty fair price on them. And they looked fantastic. So we're going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah. And this cover here, which is got a poster here. I mean, that looks like a movie poster.
Yeah.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I'm blown away. It's like, that was the first thing he did for the project. And it was like, you know, you have this moment where you engage an artist and you give them a contract based on their portfolio and you know, and so like that. And it's like, is he going to deliver? Is he really at this level? And that was the very first thing he turned in. It was like, whoa. It was, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. It blew our socks off.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So we've got some levels here. We got the featured level, which is the Saints swag pack. So that's where you're going to get a bunch of the stuff we just showed you, as well as it looks like you're getting some multiple covers, prints, bookmarks, cards.
Yeah, so it comes with the poster of that really cool painting. It's got the graphic novel. It's got the bookmark, which comes with every order, and the trading cards. And it also comes with a companion sketchbook. So it'll be like a 16-page behind the scenes making of the Saints with Christian sketches and editorial commentary on the making of the book.
Okay. And Spirit Scar would like to know, who styles your hair, Mitch? Do you use your product?
Carrie.
Paul Mitchell, maybe?
No, it's not Paul Mitchell. It is. I honestly, I can't remember. I got it at the mall. Keels.
There you go.
Keels.
Yes.
But it does a great job, and my good friend Carrie cuts my hair, and she's awesome too. So if you're ever in Little Rock, I'll send you over.
There you go. So now we know about your hair and your books, and you got the perks. Now I gotta ask. So you got this on Indiegogo. Are you gonna try to pull the trend right now with hitting both Kickstarter and Indiegogo?
You know, we've talked about it, and probably it doesn't seem like it'd be that. I've never done a Kickstarter before, but it doesn't seem like it could be that complicated, especially when we've already created all these assets for this campaign. So and why not? Run it for 30 days and for customers that are over there and don't want to go set up another account on another crowdfunding service, it seems to make pretty good sense.
Yeah, no, so that's cool. So everyone out there, if you're into the Saints, back this campaign. If you loved it, you backed it, make sure to share it on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram. If you're a fellow streamer out there and you have your own show or just a podcaster and you want to help Mitch get the word on the Saints out there, as well as Allegiance and the other 4 titles that are currently in production, and they're up to, you said issue 3 is in stores right now and you guys are working on 4?
Yeah, we're working on our episode 4 books right now. Where everybody's working furiously, including me. So
yeah, so help spread the word out there for Mitch, and we're gonna have. I want to get when Billy's available. I want to get you. Will you and Betty come on, and we'll talk some more about Allegiance. We'll talk about this campaign maybe in like 2 weeks if you guys are available. We'll do it on our crowdfunding comics show and just dig in and hang out. Have a drink on the show, chat, have a good time, and talk about that. Because I also want to get into bringing the readers and the viewers up to speed on your other titles as well. You know, because you have Blake Northcott as a writer on one of the titles, and her fandom is growing.
She's blowing up. Yeah,
she is blowing up big time. She's an incredible writer.
Yeah, she is, and she did a great job on Nora's Saga. Really helped bring that book to life, and as well as Kelsey Shannon. So, but yeah, we'll talk about those next time, and I think Elizabeth will be game for that.
Awesome, excellent.
Yeah, she doesn't do too many shows, but I think she'd do your show, Nile.
We got to snag her on at least once. We usually get the pop in. We've got her at the pop in to say hi, but we got to get her to hang out with us.
She will
a little bit in chat, so that's cool. So, Mitch, I want to thank you for coming on. Everyone, the link to this campaign will be in the description of the show. It's also been posted by Heroinberg in the chat if you're interested in following this. And what social media are you guys on, or where's Allegiance on, so people can follow what you're doing and keep up with the news?
Yeah, so we're at Allegiance Arts on Instagram and on Facebook, and I think we have a Twitter, but we just don't use it that much anymore. But you can follow us there too, and maybe we'll pick up usage of Twitter. But we're at Allegiance Arts, or you can just visit allegiancearts.com, and that'll link you to our books if you want to learn a little more about the books. Obviously, look up your Walmart store and or visit walmart.com from there, and enjoy.
Very cool. Well, hey, Mitch, thanks so much for tuning in. I'll email you about that other show if you guys want to jump on with us, and then we'll see you on that one.
All right, we'll do it.
All right, man. Have a good one. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, gang.
And real quick, I know Red Rooster Books have been going out to backers and stuff. How are you guys almost done with that?
Yes, so all of our domestic orders are out except for some books that were returned to sender or changed address, and then all of our almost all, but I think maybe 50 or 60 international orders are out that require some original art. So things that require like watercolor sketches that I still have to get to, about 40 head sketches for international backers I've got to draw. And well, I did like freaking 220 of them already. So I've kind of got it down to a science now. I can knock them out pretty fast.
Cool. I gotta say, the Red Rooster looks amazing, by the way. You did such an amazing job on that. Gorgeous book.
We're very proud of it. And, the feedback from our customers has been really awesome. I'm just really grateful for all the backers for that project. It really helped make a lot of things happen for us.
Yeah. Incredible, man. Well, congratulations to everything you're doing. Good luck to everything in the future. And I can't wait to have you back on to chat some more.
All right. Thank you, Nile.
All right. Have a great night.
Have a good night.
We'll see ya. Thanks, Mitch. Yeah, he's an incredible artist, and he does live streams. So you can follow him on YouTube. Just type in Mitch Brightweisser in the search; it'll come up. Just subscribe to his YouTube channel if you're friends with him or you like his art pages on Facebook. The same thing. He multi-streams through StreamYard, the power of StreamYard, which we do as well, and happen to be sponsored. So anyone that wants to stream like a pro, go in the description, click the link, and sign up for StreamYard today. And he does great live streams, and he shows you techniques and how he's doing stuff. It's really cool. So great creator, great guy, awesome books. And yeah, I mean, that's just some great guests, guys.
Yeah.
The Mitch
good conversations on both.
So if it wasn't a Monday, I'd be like, Mitch Monday has been concluded. But we got to jump back into some topics, all right? We've got some things, right? There's an anniversary. We had anniversary of X-Men First Class. We had, back in 2000, we had the X-Men movie. Then was it 2002? We had the sequel, I believe. Then, 10 years later, really, we've got, X-Men First Class, or 11 years later. And, we've got Professor Xavier as a young man. And we're seeing the X-Men forming. And what's kind of weird is Professor Xavier is young, right? But to me, it was always like he's a little too young. Like they all look like they're the same age. Yet then when you go to like the X-Men movies, it's obviously, my boy Picard as Xavier, right? Patrick Stewart. And he's like really freaking old.
Yeah.
And like Cyclops and them they look like young, fit, like, bros, throwing high fives and shooting lasers out of their eyes and making love to girls that can read their minds. I mean, what, Jen? Come on. It's the X-Men. They can do whatever they want. They got powers. But I mean, let me ask you guys. I was a fan of the movie. I was a fan of the movie.
First Class?
Of First Class. I liked it. I was
too. Yeah.
I liked it. So you were a fan, Jen. Did you ever watch First Class?
Nope. That was my first time watching it.
What were your thoughts on the film?
Well, I fell asleep on it the first time I tried to watch it, and then it was, I don't know, it's pretty basic. Didn't really find it exciting or interesting. The only thing that I would like to bring up that I didn't like at all was at the end, after Magneto tries to kill all the people in the navies for both countries, and he's like throwing all these missiles and stuff at them, and then Xavier stops him, and then Xavier gets shot. And Mystique's like, well, I'm going to go with Magneto, though. And Xavier's like, no, that's cool. You want to go do that? You go do that. And I'm like, he just tried to, like, kill all these people, and you're totally cool with, like, your best friend from childhood, like, just deserting
like a brother.
That's why he's cool with it. He just let it roll off his shoulder. He's like,
So the movie was okay, and then that was really, really lame, so I didn't like it.
All right, cool. So that's the 10th anniversary of X-Men First Class. It appears the chat liked it, and no, Spirit Scar, that is not a green screen behind Jen. Those are her trinkets. Those are her trinkets. Yes.
I like the movie. I thought it was like the beginning of the movie in particular, I think is awesome. You know, the way they introduced Magneto, you know, as a kid, I thought that was really, really cool.
That was really cool. I did really like that.
Honestly, it's probably, of the movies that have X-Men in the title, probably my favorite one.
Well, that's not saying a lot.
Did you watch the cartoons? Did you watch the X-Men cartoon?
Yeah, like in the 90s? Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Jen, did you watch the cartoon?
About the movies.
I know. I'm just curious if you watched the cartoon.
I mean, I watched it casually, but I don't remember anything.
I thought it was amazing when I was little, but it doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up well at all.
X-Men Evolution holds up moderately better than the X-Men cartoon from the 90s did.
Yeah. The Spider-Man cartoon holds up for me, though. The Fox, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That one holds up better than X-Men for me.
But, I mean, the problem now is, like, we have the hindsight. We got to see Logan, which is incredible. And so now every other X-Men movie is just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Didn't they have, like, recently, what was it, the Phoenix one or something?
Dark Phoenix?
I didn't even watch it.
I didn't even watch it. And even more recently than that, New Mutants finally came out.
Garbage. Garbage.
It's a movie.
Garbage.
Put that on the box. Jeff Ulrich. It's a movie.
Jeff Ulrich, it's a movie. Followed by Nile. Garbage. That's it. All right. But yeah, if everyone likes it, 10th anniversary, X-Men First Class. Rewatch it. Enjoy it. Live the memories of 2000.
I do think it's pretty cool. Like, you know, with Picard.
I shouldn't call him sophomore in high school.
Patrick Stewart. You know, was kind of perfectly cast for me as Charles Xavier.
Most of the cast.
Yeah, most of the cast. Ian McKellen.
Like perfect.
Fantastic.
Kelsey Grammer as Beast, like, it's one of my favorites.
But as good as those guys are, I also think they did a good job with the casting in this movie for James McAvoy and, oh my God, I'm blanking on the name. Help me out here. The guy played Magneto. Why can't I think of it?
The young Magneto or the old Magneto?
The young one.
This is that guy. I don't know his name.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm blanking on that.
You were saying that you don't need like villain origin stories. Like, didn't you want to see more of that Magneto? Like, wasn't that the most interesting part of the movie? You wouldn't like
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender. Thank you so much.
The one who refers to Jen as the female gave you the answer.
Less excited about that now.
Her name's Jen. Her name's Jen.
I think that, I mean, you're right, Jen. I like that, you know, they kind of stuck with the same theme from the other X-Men movies that, you know, Magneto's a little more complex. You know, he's not pure evil. And so that they're able to use this prequel and tell a story where, you know, you can still kind of see where Magneto's coming from on a lot of things. I like it.
Yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed it. I did. It wasn't too bad. I think it's one of my favorite X-Men movies that they've produced. Because even like the 2001 doesn't really hold up for me anymore. You know, so just but Fraser as Beast was the shit. He couldn't help, you know. Not only could he like solve my mental problems, he protected me physically. So kudos to you, Fraser Beast. You're the best. You're the best. Now, one thing that's kind of freaking weird. Let's do another throwback, right? Now, if you're within our age group, you know, 90s, you know, born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, you know, we all loved our Nicktoons, you know, Snick, right? Was it Snick? that had Rugrats, Doug, Ren and Stimpy. Well, they brought the Rugrats back, and it premiered last week. And I watched the first episode. And I think you watched the first episode. And I think you watched the first episode.
We did.
And it's I mean, obviously, I don't think I'm going to carry on watching that show, but I did it for the love of the nostalgia that I grew up with. Because I grew up, hey, Tommy Pickles. Hey, Chucky. You know, hey, Phil and Lil. Hey, evil cousin girl. I mean, then you get this. Like claymation stuff. Now I appreciate the art. I appreciate the art of it. But like the story, it was just like, honestly, to me, it was just like watching Rugrats. Like just like little babies talking, and you know, they'd say like things not correctly. They mispronounce things, you know. But
I mean, were you expecting them to completely like revolutionize this property?
Yeah. I was expecting something more different, and I have to say I was at least pleasantly surprised that it wasn't like something extremely crazy. Like, okay, Phil and Lil Mom is obviously a lesbian, like we get that, right? But we kind of knew that, like that was like suspect in the original series. But and it's like, and Jen pointed this out to me even like before I watched it. You read an article, right, Jen? Or did you see something on that?
Yeah, I read an article.
Yeah.
So basically, the theory is in the original. I don't know how true this is, but it's called a lavender marriage when two, I guess, homosexual people marry each other in order to conform to heterosexual society. They don't want to seem like out of place, so they get married and have kids and families and stuff like that. So that's kind of like the theory of what happened to Phil and Lil's parents, because apparently people, I guess you use the word suspect. People were suspect of him as well. So.
Oh, interesting. Well, they kind of had reversed roles.
Yeah.
They did. But I definitely kudos to the art. It's cool. I figured like, well, what would it be? I had to check it out. We had to watch it, right? Because
I think the most jarring thing for me is the voice actors that aren't the same, because they kept so many of the voice actors the same. The ones that aren't really stand out.
Yeah, the ones that aren't they don't make sense to me, because it's not the voices I remember. Now the actual Rugrats, the kids, well, besides Chucky, because she passed away in 2014. Right. Actually, God, her name escapes me, but she voices Bart Simpson. She does the voice of Chucky. And she's actually got it pretty spot on if you listen to like the older stuff. So she's got Chucky down. It's cool to listen to the old cast because Phil and Lil sound 100% exactly the same. Tommy sounds really close to Tommy, but you know, you can still, there's a little aging in their voice.
I'm wondering if she'll get it back as they do more, maybe.
Angelica sounds off, but it is the original Angelica. So I mean, voice casting wise, it was great, but the parents and everyone, well, some of them passed away, obviously, because it's like, how long has it been?
It's been a long time.
And the ones that are still alive, honestly, are like in their 80s. Because I looked it up today. I'm like, who is this cast? You know, and I compared it to the original cast, and it's like, Tommy's dad passed away. The guy who voiced him, obviously, who voiced the grandfather, passed away. But I mean, they have a pretty good lineup of actors doing the voices, but it is like catching. You know, it's like, let me put it this way: I would not subscribe to Paramount Plus for this. Like, this should just really be on Nickelodeon. And like that first episode to me was almost like a movie.
I didn't even bother to check the runtime, but it felt long.
It was about 50 minutes.
Yeah, well, then that explains why it felt
minutes
so
of
long.
Rugrats, and there's like 6 of them on there. That's crazy. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm not going to go back and watch any more of it. I think it's cool if you were really attached to Rugrats. If you were really attached to Rugrats as a kid and you want to try watching Rugrats with your kids today, maybe that's
MODOK.
Maybe that's going to work. But it's
not
certainly
a movie. It's a series. A really long series.
It's not a show for us. Like it's not meant for us.
It's not meant for kids.
I loved it. I thought it was wonderful. I actually wanted to watch the second episode. It was incredibly wholesome. It's exactly like the original show. The characters were really more thought out. Their interactions with everybody was really wholesome. The word is just wholesome. I thought it was great. I really loved it.
You liked Rugrats. Wow.
I loved it. I thought it was Yes, I love it.
I feel like I'm in the upside down.
I feel so. This doesn't feel right. I feel like we should end the show because now I'm just like, what? You liked something that we did not like.
I know.
I'll say I didn't hate it, but I definitely didn't like
garbage.
it enough to go back to it.
Yeah. That wasn't garbage. Yeah, I wouldn't go back to it. I'll watch MODOK or something like that.
I hated
That's
MODOK.
where I'm at. Did you guys like Invader Zim? I see a lot of people in the chat talking about Invader Zim.
I did like Invader
Zim was cool.
Because again, I think that one was not really made for actual children. I mean, I know they really dumbed down a lot of his humor to make the show for kids, but I think that's a show that even adults could appreciate.
Yeah, no, definitely. So that's kind of our play on Rugrats. I don't know if you guys have anything else on that. I mean, I'm not gonna say don't watch it. Like if you grew up with that, like I did, like Snick was the big thing. I had Doug, Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy. Like that's what I looked forward to, when I was little growing up, when they were new. I would say check it out if you want that nostalgia. Jen is right though; they do capture a lot of that original Rugrats feel to it. In a little more, like the characters have more depth to them, and the budget's killer on the graphics of that almost that stop motion look. It's CGI, but they made it look like stop motion. This is gorgeous animation. That is what I will say. Shut up, Grizz. I can't wait to fucking talk UFOs. I want to talk UFOs next week. Just so you all know, Tuesday we're having a big UFO party because the truth is out there, people. It's happening. It is happening. They're getting ready to let us know.
Are they doing an X-Files reboot?
No, bro. Don't you watch the news?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're supposed to be finally giving all those...
giving all the grease. They're spilling the tea, bro. They're spilling the tea.
It's going to be nothing.
It's going to be insane. It's going to be garbage, right? They're going to be like, oh, it's a new type of weather balloon made by Apple. It's the eye balloon.
The eye balloon.
The eye balloon. We made Jen laugh. Yay. Come on, jeez. So... one more thing before we get into some cool comics that we discovered. It is Pride Month. So in Pride Month, Lego has now contributed to this. And I'm kind of like, don't get me wrong. I don't care. You can love who you want. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. Just be a good person. That's all I ask. Just be a good person. Do whatever you want. Be a good person. Everyone seems to be joining in on this. Like, where were you guys last year? Right? Where was everybody last year? Seems like everyone is just throwing in. And Lego's in with this set. Like... I don't know about this. Like, I'm really looking at the hairstyles for the colors. Like, I don't know why it bothers me because, like, I don't know. Like, I'm balding. Where is the balding Lego guy and what color am I?
Well, I think you just take off the hair for balding Lego guy.
But I don't know. So this is like a 300 something piece Lego set too.
That is what kind of blows my mind because, like, it doesn't look like it should be that many pieces because it's, not just look at it. It doesn't look like that complicated of a Lego set.
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as like this trend, I definitely remember this happening last year and the year before that. And, it's growing for sure. And it's one of those like things where I feel like some corporations actually mean it and they're like, they are trying to be supportive. And then there's other ones that I worry are cashing in.
Yeah.
Lego has a checkered history with progressivism. They used to be very forward-thinking. Their toys were designed to be played with by boys and girls, by anybody. Like they weren't going for any particular audience. That changed in the 80s, where they started to release some sets that were for girls, for boys, and then they go back and forth on that. So like they have a weird history with progressivism. So with this, it's like, well, they could mean it. I'm generally the kind of person who tries to find the good in people, so I'm tending to lean towards believing that they have best interests at heart.
Then they should donate some of their profits if they really cared.
Yeah, that's a great point.
They don't. So.
So you looked that up? They're not donating any of that?
Nope. I did find a list. I posted it on my Twitter. I can give Nile the link to put it in the description. But I found a really good article that actually lists 27 very popular commercial corporations, I guess, that are donating proceeds, like Ralph Lauren, Abercrombie & Fitch, Nordstrom, Morphe. I mean, 1-800-Flowers, Hannah Anderson.
1-800-Flowers?
Yes. Gap, Fossil, Reebok. There are tons of companies that are donating to the community instead of just cashing in on it. So, yeah, I guess like Jeff likes to see the positivity in everybody. I'm the total opposite. I think everybody is a terrible person unless you can prove me right or wrong. So
Well, you're probably disappointed less often than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably.
But I don't know. I think even with people who are cashing in, there is at least some positiveness to take out of it in that it is, normalizing things to an extent. And so you can find some silver lining with that. But I do think it's like put your money where your mouth is and actually support causes with the proceeds. That seems like the better thing to do.
Yeah. Igor kind of has a point because it is all these donations are just tax write-offs. These are giant corporations run by goblins who hate working Americans. They donate and get tax write-offs and other advertising advantages from it. Damn goblins. Last call, dude. Seriously? Oh, TJ. Hey, guys.
What's up?
You all right? The goblins aren't real. They're not real, guys.
Oh, thank
goblins
God.
aren't real. Anyways, so I get the point. That's what I'm saying. Like, I support all that stuff. I really do. I support my local Pride month. We support everything that goes on here locally in the city I'm in. And we appreciate everyone to live the life they want to live. But I do, I see those things and I'm like, are you just trying to make sure the finger's not pointed at you, or do you guys really care?
I think you can see it with corporations that have multiple Twitter's account for their different offices around the world. And if they have a rainbow logo for the States, but they don't have a rainbow logo in Russia or something like that, that's a little telling about how committed they are to actually supporting, these causes.
Yeah. Well, time will tell as these go on. But anyways, I support it. That's what matters to me. I have family members, and everything. So it's all good. It's all good with me. Love who you want to love. Live how you want to live. Be a good person. Enjoy comic books and other things, and make sure we have something to talk about. And that's all that matters, That's all that matters, guys. So, guys and gals. Didn't want to just say guys. But so we found some great comics. Actually, this is a big shout out to Jen. Because she brought up some great comics that I took a look at, and I really liked one of them a lot. And issue 3 just came out. So let's start off first with Shadecraft. So this was an interesting comic book and an interesting concept for me in regards of what this book is about. And just right off the bat, though, I just want to know before we get into it, Jeff, did you like Shadecraft?
I liked it more in issue 2 than I did in issue 1.
I agree with that, Steve. Same for me. Issue 1 went really fast, and I was like, what the heck was this?
It felt like she was very accepting of what was happening to her very quickly. And,
Yes.
I know that's like you're setting up the premise and you can't dwell on it too long. So I can get past that. And going forward, I think I would actually enjoy it.
Yeah. Jen, what were your impressions after you read the first and second issue?
Yeah, I guess I don't generally like high school characters because it usually just makes the story pretty one-dimensional. But the plot is interesting. That's what kind of got me to want to read it in the first place. And you're right, the second issue is definitely better than the first one. But there was something about the last panel of issue 2 where I was like, oh, okay, well now I'm kind of curious to see where that's going to go. So I didn't love it, but I am intrigued.
Yeah. I'll be honest. When I first saw this and it came into the list, I'm like, Image, Shadecraft. My first thought was, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? I've read so many weird things. I shouldn't say, I've read so many things from Image I didn't enjoy. But going through, right off the bat, I like the panel work in the book. The panel work was good. The art is really good in the book. Zadie's the main character. Basically, the premise right now, just for those out there, is Zadie is a high school student, right? And this is kind of the beginning that Jeff was talking about that kind of went really quick. A shadow cloud, shadows are following her, trying to harm her and what have you. And then it kind of goes back to reality really fast. And it was just like, oh, wow, this thing happened last night. But the premise is, her brother is in a coma from a car accident. And she somehow one night is having these shadows trying to attack or kill her. And, she's able to get a... What?
I thought you were going to spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Well, I'm just, the shadows are trying to attack and kill her. And so, but I kind of want to let them know. We got to let them know what this is about. How far do you think I should go with this?
That's like the big plot twist of the first issue.
I know.
I think I can say it in a way that doesn't spoil it.
Let's do it, Jeff.
There's
do it.
a point, like she's being attacked by these shadows, but there's a point where a shadow protects her, and that's the most detail you can go into without spoiling. But I think that's where the actual like crux of this story is coming from. Don't go any further. Don't go any further.
Yes.
Don't.
Shadows are killing her, and then there's a shadow that helps her, and the art is gorgeous in this book.
Yeah, the art is really great.
And again, this was a book though that did so. The first issue I had to read, and I was looking at panels, and it wasn't consistent. You know, it's not like Last Ronin for me, where I can read and everything flows with me. I don't have to really go back and look at something. I kind of capture everything visually and read at the same time. This book, I was, the script isn't that strong in the first issue. Second issue, definitely way better. But again, the art is incredible in this. It's absolutely incredible. And I guess this book was delayed because at the end of the book, Joe Henderson kind of describes the delay and their fears and whatnot because they had such success with Skyward. And they were afraid they wouldn't have that same respect that they got for the book and everything like that. But great book. I do recommend you guys do it. Issue 3 came out. So I got to ask you guys, will you read issue 3?
I think I probably will.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. And it's consistent. I want to show you all issue 2 really quick. Just skim through it because I just want you to see the consistency in the book and the artists and the writers. So
the covers are great. Even the cover for issue 3, it's what got me intrigued to read it because the covers were interesting.
Yeah, but the art is consistent through. The colorist is great in this book, by the way.
Oh, I love you can see the pencils at the very end, the pencil and inks. And so it's really cool to see like how much the color really like affected everything.
Yeah. So I maybe woke message in here. I don't know, guys. Everything is woke. Get over it. Unfortunately, that's what buying crowdfunded books and stuff are. All mainstream stuff is going to have things you don't want in it. Hate me for saying it, but it's true.
I didn't get any woke vibes from this at all.
Yeah,
I didn't get it. I mean, I can see it going in that route or something eventually with some topics, but the first few issues aren't. The first 2 issues I read don't really give that vibe. I mean, there's really not much in it, but so far I like it. And that's coming from a long line of image books that I haven't really take that much interest in. So good picks, Jen. Real good picks. And then a fun read I had, and this is issue. I'm trying to get my hands on an issue 1 for this, but we were able to read the prelude that led for Star Wars. Let me get that up here. I mean, and how did you guys like the Star Wars comic?
Well, I guess I'll go first. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm a bit of a mark for Star Wars stuff, so like I had a lot of fun with it. I like that we're getting more of Boba Fett just in general because like as a kid you think Boba Fett's the coolest character in the world, but then as an adult you realize he didn't actually do anything in the movies.
Yeah.
And so we're actually starting to get see some things that like make him the badass that we always thought he was.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jen?
Cool.
So I am not a huge Star Wars fan. Actually, I watched Star Wars for the very first time with Jeff like 5 years ago. I had never seen it before. So as an adult, I was always like, wow, Boba Fett's not that cool. Why is everybody obsessed with him? He didn't do anything. So I didn't think I'd be into this book because I don't care about Boba Fett. But I liked how they fleshed out his character from like the movie. You're actually getting that like, what happened? How did that happen? And this is kind of like explaining that, and I really liked it. I thought it was very good. I definitely want to read the first issue.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm a huge fan of Mandalorian, and like this not having any new episodes, like I like this. Like I like how they're developing the character. You know, I like seeing this different side of him, and I really like this book. I'll get us copies of issue 1 so we can talk about it next week. But this is the prelude that's leading up to issue 1 that released on Wednesday. This was awesome. I loved this. Like it's stuff like this that gets me back into Star Wars, you know? And it's good to see that it came from a comic book.
Yeah, it's good action, like really good. And I always think that's one of the tougher things to nail in comics is really good action. And I actually think they did a pretty good job with all that in here.
Yeah,
a lot of decapitations. If you're into decapitations, it's got a lot of that.
Yeah, a lot of decapitations, a lot of gore. Great art too.
Yeah.
I do like the art in here. You know, I like it. It's got almost like an underground inking style, if that makes sense. If you read like some of the underground books, like the early Vampirellas and things, where they had like fine lines, or like the Judge Dredd style comics. Like if you look at the inking in these, a lot of cross hatching and things with the backgrounds and even like with the eyes and everything. Just a lot of cool stuff in the inking style of this book. Just a lot of small lines, not too much thick black stuff and all that. But I liked it. I liked it. Great. This was another Jen find, which was awesome. So she killed it. She absolutely killed it in comic books this week.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. And the director's cut is cool because you get
just look at those inks.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Look at that.
It's so detailed.
I would like this book more in this black and white style personally. But that's just me. That's what I like. I like it. I like it raw. Not
buddy.
colored. Yeah. Whoa. Jeez. So there you have it, guys. Another great book to check out. And issue 1's out. So get the Prelude and issue 1 if you can. So boom. Great job, Jen. Cheers.
Anytime to talk about Star Wars, I'm on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Star Trek too. It's like my favorite thing.
Star Trek's okay.
Do you like Star Trek? Jen, do you like Star Trek?
I've never seen an episode of Star Trek.
Oh, like that surprises you, really?
Well, that does kind of surprise me. You really haven't seen an episode of Star Trek?
No.
It's only surprising because there's like 30 seasons of Star Trek stuff. You've had lots of opportunities to watch Star Trek of one kind or another.
I know everyone's at least watched a little Star Trek, but hey, it is what it is. So we've got some stuff going on, man. You've got let's head into the little world of gaming with the Grizz.
Okay.
So Nintendo, huh? Nintendo Direct E3 2021. How to watch? What do we got here?
So, E3 starts on June 12th with Ubisoft's presentation, and then there's every company's got another presentation going through until Tuesday on the 15th when Nintendo's having theirs. The reason I wanted to talk about Nintendo's is because that's probably my favorite of the big three, but also I figured Nile, who's a big fan of classic retro gaming, would have some thoughts on Nintendo stuff as well. But yeah, so the big news that we have going into E3 is that they are likely going to be announcing a new model of the Nintendo Switch, which is the other article I have for you. And then in conjunction with that, of course, they have their Nintendo Direct for E3, where they're going to be announcing and focusing on new games that are coming in 2021 and 2022. Mm-hmm. So a lot of really big, exciting things to see coming from there. They're going to be talking about Super Mario Golf, or what is it called? Mario Golf Super Rush. Help me out with that.
Where's the list? Hang on.
It's on the GameSpot article. Yeah, Mario Golf Super Rush and Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD, which is the remake that they're releasing in celebration of Zelda's 35th anniversary. And the other expectation is that during the E3 press conference, they're going to be talking about some games that have been long in development, like Metroid Prime 4 and Breath of the Wild 2. I was just wondering, is there anything that they could announce that would just knock y'all's socks off and get you interested in going back to Nintendo gaming?
Well, for me, I was pretty psyched to see, with everything coming up for the anniversary of Zelda, that what they're combining, because they're putting a lot of stuff together in like those tribute cartridges where you're getting like a bunch of different games from different eras. And there's a lot of Zelda games I haven't played. So now that I can get some of these games in, especially the stuff like the early 2000s or like the first 10 years of the 2000s, I didn't play a lot of that stuff. But now they're combining a lot of that. But I also like having everything original, like Legends of Zelda. like the original
Yeah.
Legends of Zelda. And I like whenever they bring that back to a new console, because if I'm, I play on the Switch. So I like being able to play those games on the Switch. So it's great to see that they're combining these games and bringing to them. I'm starting to get back into Legends of Zelda ever since I saw the article of what they were going to be distributing for the 35th anniversary.
Well, and so I'm really hoping that when they do have their E3 presentation, at the very least, I wanted them to show some of Breath of the Wild 2. I can't imagine it's actually going to release this year. I just, I don't know. Nintendo drags their heels on these big titles for so long, and they usually come out pretty great. So I'm not going to be too unhappy about that. But I think with it being the 35th anniversary, that if they don't at least showcase some Breath of the Wild 2, there's going to be a lot of really disappointed Zelda fans.
I think they will. I mean, Breath of the Wild was amazing. That was an amazing game. Yeah. I didn't beat it. I did hit the point where I was like, all right, I'm done with it. But as far as like the graphics, the storyline, just the gameplay, I mean, it really did bring Zelda to that open world. And I do think it's an incredible game. I will beat it one of these days when I get the time, which I'm lying. I probably will.
We all say that.
I'll never do that. But I'll totally buy the second one and play it for X amount of time, which will probably be like,
and then you'll say
3 hours
I'll come
worth
back
of gameplay. Yeah. My wife's always like, why do you buy these things? You don't play them. I'm like, I play them.
What about you, Jen? Anything that would really excite you for Nintendo's showcase?
Nope. I have a Switch. I played Octopath Traveler on it, and I tried Animal Crossing and hated it. What else? Oh, I played Fire Emblem and hated it.
Oh, that's too bad. I loved that one.
I love the one that was on the
3DS.
DS, yeah, that one was awesome. But this one, like, they're all in school, and it's just like,
it's like you said, you don't like high school.
Yeah, it was really like you go from this awesome fantasy setting to like them in high school. And the big thing about the one on 3DS was the costumes were all really cool and the characters were all really interesting. And this one, they're all just normal people wearing school uniforms. Really boring. So, and I'm not like a classic Nintendo person. Zelda's too hard. Mario's too hard.
Mario's too hard.
Zelda is hard.
Zelda can be really hard.
Yeah.
Like the original Zelda took me years to beat because I would just get impatient and I'd have to stop playing for long, extensive periods of time before I could get back at it. Actually, I didn't beat it until I got it on emulations. What was that?
I said I like Mario Party, but nobody will play with me.
Oh, I love Mario Party
with you.
Yeah, Jeff want to play Mario Party.
Without Nile.
Yeah, I don't want to play a stupid Mario Party game.
So this was the other thing was that they're talking about this new model of the Switch coming out, which is supposed to be making it more competitive with the graphical capabilities of the other next gen consoles, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. Obviously, it's still not going to be on their level because they're having to maintain portability. But I mean, what do you guys think? The pricing is going to likely be over $300.
Oh, 100%.
You think that's okay?
Do I think that's okay? It depends on the technology that's in it, I would say. And what's when did the original Switch debut?
2017.
2017. So it's been 4 years, and you're coming out with a new Switch. But plus it's portable, so you're talking like the technology is less. So to compete with consoles that can hold their game for 9 to 12 years, practically, it seems. The Switch, is it just going to be? Are we just looking at upgrades? Right? They're talking about upgraded Switch. So are we getting into just tiers now, like Xbox does?
So they're going to eliminate the base model Switch, is what Bloomberg's article here is suggesting. That they're going to have the Switch Lite, which is already available, which is a Switch where you can't remove the Joy-Cons from the side. It's just a portable console, and then they will have this new model of Switch. Which is going to have a 7-inch Samsung display, OLED, and a faster NVIDIA chip, which is capable of 4K output when docked to the TV. So big improvement graphically speaking, but I'm just wondering if that's all exactly necessary because, the majority of the games that are already being made on Switch aren't going to take advantage of 4K capabilities in the first place. And if they're going to be making games that have to also work on the Switch Lite, are there going to be games that only work on the new Switch, or are they going to be making everything so that it works on both? In which case, are we really going to be taking advantage of 4K capabilities with this console? I just don't know if it's like, I'll probably end up buying it because I do. That's what I do every time a new console comes out. I'm a sucker. But I'm like, well, I don't know if I actually need this.
Yeah. Well, I love the Switch. I think it's a great console, but I'll be honest with you, I hate it for what it did to the NVIDIA portable gaming consoles they were making. Like, I loved the NVIDIA portable. It looked like a controller with a screen that flipped up.
Yeah.
Like, I loved that thing.
The Shield.
I love the Shield. I had the Shield tablet, which was stupid. They should have never done that. They should have kept it in like a controller format. But having the whole separate controller, like, I'm not going to go to a Starbucks and set up my little tablet and play a game right there. I'm not going to do that. I might flip open my device and play, right? But I'm not going to have two separate devices. I'm too lazy for that. Don't do that to me. In the Switch, I guess, I would probably set it up. I would pull that the horrible kickstand, by the way. Absolute garbage, Nintendo. Absolute garbage. I would set that up if like me and Grizz and Jen were playing, right? And we're playing with our little hands on these little hand controllers. Like, again, ergonomically, the Switch is garbage.
Oh, I think when you have the Joy-Cons on the side of the screen, it's fine.
Still garbage. No, my hands hurt. What do you have? Do you have little hands?
No. Jen does.
Look how big my hand is compared to my head. Okay.
Put it in front of your face.
Look how big my hand is, huh? I'm telling you. This is actually my hand on my face now.
The other interesting thing with this console news is that they are planning on going into production in July and having it release in September. So that's a pretty good turnaround, especially considering all the worldwide chip shortages that are plaguing the other consoles. But apparently they are using different parts from different manufacturers that Nintendo believes they'll be able to actually meet those production deadlines. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
No, definitely. It'll be interesting to see. I'd love to see, I'll be honest. I would love to see Microsoft or Sony come out with a kick-ass portable. The Vita flop.
Man, bring it back.
They should. I would love an Xbox. I want an Xbox portable.
They make those. They're called laptops.
I know, but it's not portable, man.
It's a laptop.
No, it's not portable. It's not portable in the sense of like how a Switch is portable.
No, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. And the closest thing you can get to, the old Razer Edge gaming tablets that came out in like 2013 or 14. I mean, they still that's your closest thing. If you can find one with the controller attachment, but also weighs like 500 pounds when you do it now. But that was like the closest thing you'd get to like a fucking game console, like true console.
Yeah, the Vita was a good quality system, but
it lacks support.
It lacked support, and it's unfortunate because I do think that, like with all things, having more than one presence in that market is important, and Nintendo is dominating the portable market right now.
They are,
and it's going to be harder and harder for anybody else to get back into it.
Oh, definitely. They're going to stay the king of the portable market. That's what their niche is now. Nintendo is always a niche company. When the console was a niche thing, they perfected it. Everyone had it. Sega came in, tried to compete. Nintendo's the only one that's been able to survive through everything. Other companies had to take other forms. Sega went into just making some games. They're making games for Nintendo. So now they're making money and making Nintendo money. Yeah. Like that's where it's gone. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to see what they come up with. I'll probably get the new one too. I'll get it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
And then you can use the old one for the kids.
Yeah, use the old one for the kids. What are you going to do? They can have it. But yeah, it's cool to see what's going to happen. We'll see what they come out for tech on that. Jen, are you going to get the new one?
No, I don't play the one I have. Oh yeah, I also got Diablo, and I didn't like that on there either. So it's Octopath Traveler is pretty much the only thing I actually played on my Switch. So I don't need a new one. And the graphics on that aren't good, so you don't need 4K for that.
They're beautiful, but they're not.
Yeah,
you don't need 4K on a 7-inch screen. But there's a lot of cool. Is it GDI that has the cool portable PC computers?
I am waiting to see more for portable gaming PCs because, like, I really don't see any of them being completely feasible. They're going to be way too expensive.
Well, they're not, because in order to get the performance that you're going to get out of a computer, like a tower or even a high-end gaming laptop, you can't get that small. Or they'll cost like $12,000.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that's too much.
Yeah.
Jen, I was going to say, did you like Octopath Traveler?
Yes. It got very tedious, but it
gets a little grindy.
Yeah.
But I was going to say the developers for that have a new game that's also coming out on Switch. I believe it's supposed to be early in 2022. Project Triangle Strategy is its tentative name.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they'll come up with a better name and announce that at E3.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh, and then my indie game of the week.
Yes.
I just wanted to shout out Just Die Already, which is a puzzle game where you play as a geriatric person in a retirement home who's trying to get to a good retirement community because you get kicked out at the very beginning of the game. It's very tongue in cheek. It's made from some of the developers of Goat Simulator, which was a big hit, and they kind of like lean into their glitchiness in a lot of ways. Like you can see in the clip that's playing right now, part of the mechanics of the game is your character is very fragile because you are an old person. So like if you jump from too high, or if you run into someone, or if you're playing with another person, you can accidentally rip each other's arms off. And
I feel like I'm watching someone from Bob's Burgers running.
I mean, not too far from the truth there, at least appearance wise.
Yeah.
But the real mechanics of the game is you're solving puzzles and you're earning points that are going to enable you to get into this better retirement community, and that's like the overall plot. But it's really fun. It's kind of senseless. You're dying constantly, but that's okay. You just respawn at one of the nearest spawn points. In the part that I'm in the game, every time you die, you respawn inside a trash can, which I found very humorous. Oh, there it is. They're in the trash can. But it's a very silly game. But it's only $15 on Steam. And if you have heard anything about Goat Simulator, it does handle very similarly to that, but it's slightly more polished.
Yeah, no, that looks cool. I'm gonna check this game out because this is just like right up my alley. Just old people killing each other. This is like, I love it. Look at this. So his spine's broken.
Yeah, and you can keep playing like that.
That's great. How many hours do you have into this game, Grizz?
I have played 3 hours so far.
Jeez, that's 3 hours you're never gonna get back.
I know, and I think it's worth it.
There you go. Well, there you go. Excellent. Awesome. Well, hey man, that's a great find. I am investing in this game, by the way. I'm totally getting it.
We can play together.
We are going to play together. How?
Like I said, $15.
$15. Jen, you in on this?
Up to 4 players.
Up to 4 players?
Why not?
Yes. Awesome. We're in. Just die already. If anyone wants to play with us, let us know that you got the game. Cool. Awesome, dude. Great find. Great stuff. I like what you picked out this week for games. Definitely cool. Yeah, they do have a handheld AMD. It's on Indiegogo, I think, right now. And it's been getting passed around. It's been performing really well. Jen, you are on Twitter, correct?
I am on Twitter.
You are. How can everyone follow you on Twitter?
It's just Jen Van Damsel, JENNVANDAMSEL.
All right. So
Jennifer Van Damsel was too long, so I had to shorten it.
They wouldn't let you have it? Or did you actually run out of characters?
Yeah, you ran out of characters.
Oh, that's crazy.
Sad life.
That is sad.
All
so you're on.
What a waste.
I know. So you're on Twitter. You're on Instagram. You have OnlyFans.
Yep.
Are you Twitch streaming still?
No, I stream on my OnlyFans now.
Nice. And that's free to sign up for, correct?
It is free. I hang out every Friday night around 8:30, 9 o'clock for a couple of hours. We actually talk about the show. We share more opinions on the topics that we talked about for people that didn't make it or didn't get to share with us. Mm-hmm. Last time I ate pizza, so we have dinner.
Have dinner with Jen and talk about what she talked about.
Yeah.
On the show.
It's fun.
That's fun. Now, how long do you stream for?
Usually around 2 hours.
that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like a little chat hangout. We just literally just talk for like 2 hours about movies and food and TV shows and games and cosplay and all kinds of stuff.
Nice. And Grizz, what do you got going on? Where can they check out? Because you're a podcaster machine. I just dropped something.
I am on a couple of podcasts. You can find us on Remember the Film, which is a movie podcast. We tend to talk about a wide variety of things, but like classic movies and, more like modern dramas, things like that. That's Remember the Film. We're on basically all the podcast services as well as on YouTube. And then I have a Pokemon podcast, if you're a big Pokemon fan, called Podcat Monsters, also on YouTube and streaming services everywhere. And then I also stream on Twitch. If you want to watch me play games like Just Die Already or Knockout City, like we talked about earlier, I do all that on twitch.tv/goodgamegrizz.
Nice. All right, everyone. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in for another week in Pop. If you guys liked what we're doing and you like the other shows we're doing, make sure to click that subscribe button right under Jen and smash that bell to get notifications when we go live. We upload awesome content. You can also follow us on @thePopXP on Twitter, on Instagram @thePopXP, and on Facebook @thePopXP. So everyone, have yourselves a great weekend, right? Read a book, see a movie, tell us what you did. If you have any suggestions of what you want us to talk about on the show, please add it to the comments, or you can email suggestions and things to scheduling@thepopxp.com. Or if you have any interest in being a guest, if you have a fun topic, if you're working on a comic book, if you're an indie game developer, anything of that nature, reach out to us. We'd love to have you on the show, have you hang out. And next week, I'm talking about UFOs on Tuesday. It's going to be a live show. TJ James will be there. He's in the chat. Jen and Grizz are welcome to come and talk about UFOs, but me and Billy just want to talk UFOs. And if you think you would be great in that conversation and want to join the stream live with us, email me at scheduling@thepopxp.com. Everyone have a great night. Jen, amazing as always. Grizz, man, you're the whiz, bro. Grizz is the whiz when it comes
Grizz
to
is the whiz.
He's the whiz, man. Grizz is the whiz. Jen, you looked stunning tonight. You did a great job. Great comics. Everything was awesome. Chat, you guys were fun. And we will see you all next week on another episode of The Week in Pop. So have a good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us on POPXP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us @ThePopXP and over on Instagram @ThePopXP. Thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you soon.